Akira Oda walked into his classroom, noticing classmates chatting and studying as usual. Suddenly, the room shifted beneath his feet and a mysterious portal appeared. Akira found himself transported to a new world, realizing his status had changed. He had grown stronger, becoming an assassin instead of a hero. Confused, he looked around at the unfamiliar surroundings and the fallen students scattered across the hall. A figure appeared, welcoming Akira to the palace, signaling the beginning of his dangerous new journey. Akira watched as the princess struggled, supported by her father, the king, revealing a tense situation. The king explained that all students summoned from another world were brought to aid in defeating the Demon King. Akira and his classmates reacted in shock, realizing they were expected to assist in an unfamiliar conflict. The king showed the map of Morrigan, explaining the 4 continents and the races inhabiting them. He detailed that the Redis Kingdom, with the largest human population, was under threat and needed heroes to stop the invasion. The students were told only one could become the destined hero, while the others would receive special powers. A wise elder explained that each needed to discover their abilities and repeat a ritual to reveal their status. Akira followed the instructions, opening his personal status and observing his abilities for the first time. He discovered his occupation was assassin with maximum stealth, 1,800 horsepower, and 1,200 attack power, realizing the world held many dangers. Akira prepared himself for the upcoming battles and challenges. Akira spoke with a classmate who was a wind mage, learning that each summoned student had unique abilities. The classmate noted Akira always disappeared during lessons, jokingly calling him a ninja, which Akira accepted. Akira recalled his childhood talent for always winning hide-and-seek, realizing it counted as a natural ability. He analyzed his status bar, noticing his skills like arithmetic and negotiation reflected his experiences from Japan. Akira identified Sato Tsukasa as one of the few classmates whose name he could remember, noting his strong record and popularity. The elder instructed all summoned students to gather around and observe a magical crystal ball. He explained that each student would line up to touch the crystal, which would scan and display their status bars. The crystal revealed individual abilities, allowing the students and elder to assess their potential. Akira reflected on the risk of showing their status publicly, realizing some information might be sensitive. A student stepped forward, and the crystal displayed her status, shocking everyone and highlighting the differences between the classmates. Akira noticed a classmate's status was far weaker than his own, leaving him confused and concerned. He quickly activated his stealth ability to prevent others from seeing his own status bar. Akira moved unseen, preparing to react to anything unusual that might occur. It was now Sato Tsukasa's turn to reveal his status, and Akira observed closely. Tsukasa's status confirmed he was the destined hero, surprising everyone and highlighting the stark contrast with Akira's hidden strength. Akira realized that his assassin title still made him far stronger than the hero, leaving him puzzled. He noted that even skilled warriors rarely exceeded an attack power of 500, while his stats were far higher. The king, princess, and elder discussed the potential to defeat the Demon King easily with the hero and his friends. Akira felt uneasy, sensing something strange about his overwhelming strength compared to others. He wondered what would happen next as the summoners prepared to equip the students with gear for their upcoming adventure. Akira followed the elder through the palace, noticing a ceiling device that looked like a surveillance camera. He sensed something unusual was about to happen and remained alert. Akira reflected on his assassin class, realizing he would be in the background while the hero took the spotlight. Using his negotiation skill, he could understand others' plans, but stayed hidden to avoid attention. He split from the group and quietly waited in his private room, noting there were no cameras, making it easy to sneak out. Akira settled into his assigned room, noting he was safe for the moment with no intrusions. He reflected on his assassin role and decided to investigate what the king might be hiding. Akira realized his current outfit made him too conspicuous and considered changing before moving further. Standing outside, he observed the massive palace, taking in its scale and layout. Using his stealth, Akira broke into the armory, discovering a variety of useful equipment for future missions. Akira leapt across the palace rooftops, moving silently and swiftly toward his target. He slipped inside the palace, navigating through corridors, without being detected. Akira began searching for the king, carefully listening for voices or any sign of activity. From a distance, he overheard a conversation about the summoned students, confirming they were unaware of their true purpose. The king and princess discussed the students' ignorance, noting that the humans had no knowledge of demons or their role in the plan. The king instructed his subordinates to prevent the students from entering the gallery and to follow the original plan. The princess obeyed her father, signaling her involvement in the palace's secretive schemes. Akira silently observed the princess, noticing her subtle, calculating smile, which made him wary. He quietly moved through the corridors, careful to stay hidden while examining the layout of the library. From a hidden vantage point, Akira watched the king at work, noting the meticulous attention to detail and planning. Akira poised his dagger, contemplating whether to strike the king while he was unguarded. He questioned why they had been summoned, the dangers they faced, and the king's true intentions. Akira considered finishing the king immediately, weighing the risks and consequences. Ultimately, he returned silently to his room, deciding to observe further before taking action. He reflected on his biggest regret, not killing the king at that moment, knowing it might have changed everything. The elf ran swiftly through the forest, tense and alert, carrying a crucial item. She was suddenly struck, falling to the ground, realizing she had been poisoned by a tranquilizer. Struggling to stay conscious, she questioned why this had happened and who was responsible. Another elf appeared, confronting her with a calm but deadly demeanor, questioning why she was still alive. Akira sat quietly among the gathered classmates in the grand dining hall, observing the arranged banquet and the tense atmosphere of the castle. Tsukasa stood to address the group, capturing attention as Akira glanced toward him. Noting the serious tone of the hero's words, the discussion turned to the shocking event of their summoning to another world, and Tsukasa urged everyone to consider their next actions carefully. Tsukasa emphasized the strength they now possessed, determined to use it to protect the people of this new world. Akira focused on the task ahead, preparing to confront the demon lord with the support of his classmates. Akira watched as his classmates cheered for Tsukasa, though he internally felt disconnected from their excitement. In a shadowed corner, the group of knights and advisors questioned the king and princess, wondering if their instructions could be trusted. Tsukasa's encouragement inspired the classmates, and Akira quietly prepared his stealth skills, unsure how to adjust to the lively atmosphere. Akira considered escaping the castle alone, weighing the risks, while the others pledged to do their best to save the people. The group arrived at the expansive training area, ready to begin their preparations for the challenges ahead. Saran Misray introduced himself as the Redis Kingdom's Knight Commander, explaining his role as the last line of defense. Zeal Asti, the Vice Commander, reminded him of the need for formality, while Saran laughed, easing the tension among the heroes. Saran announced that the heroes would train in an underground dungeon starting in 1 month, and the group reacted with surprise. Questions arose about whether they could improve in such a short time, as the heroes doubted their abilities. Saran insisted that their progress depended on their effort, placing responsibility on the heroes to grow stronger through training. Saran Misray reminded the heroes that as the kingdom's last line of defense, the knights took great pride in their role. He expressed confidence that the summoned heroes, gifted with strong abilities, could overcome the training challenges without struggle, provoking a wary Akira. Akira briefly smiled at Saran, deciding to hide his abilities for now while maintaining a calm exterior. He activated his stealth skill, quietly excusing himself from the group to avoid directly obeying the king's order. Saran left Zeal in charge of training decisions, trusting the vice commander to oversee the hero's regimen while he departed. Akira walked away from the training grounds, planning his next move while remaining cautious of Saran Misray's watchful eyes. Saran appeared behind him, smiling and confirming his identity, surprising Akira with her awareness of his movements. They faced each other across the courtyard, Akira realizing how easily Saran could track him despite his stealth. Saran revealed her extra skill, Evil Eye, allowing her to observe him precisely, and Akira reluctantly accepted her presence. Akira decided to head to the library, knowing it was futile to hide further, while Saran continued to monitor him calmly. Akira explained that he wanted to explore the world and learn about its common sense, skills, and magic. Saran asked about the level of Akira's skills, confirming that his stealth ability had reached maximum strength. Saran inquired about his other skills, offering to teach him how to increase their levels, surprising Akira. Saran noted that the library lacked the necessary books for skill advancement, and that the king kept most knowledge in his study. Saran proposed a simple information trade. Akira would teach her about his original world, allowing them to share knowledge between realms. Akira agreed to Saran's proposal, shaking hands to seal their information exchange deal. Saran walked away, leaving Akira alone for a moment. While Zeal observed from a distance, Saran and Zeal prepared to return to their duties, leaving Akira behind to explore freely. Zeal explained that visiting the knight's barrack was possible if Akira wanted to hear interesting stories or observe their work. As Saran and Zeal walked through the courtyard, Akira reflected on their unusual generosity and the rare opportunity to interact with the commanders. Saran reflected on the joy of seeing Akira genuinely smile, noting how rare such a moment had been. Zeal and Saran walked together, planning to report about their conversation with Akira and share information about his original world. Saran described Akira's world as full of advanced technology, including moving metal boxes and devices that allowed instant communication across distances. Zeal connected these descriptions to records of previous summoning events. Realizing that Akira came from a country called Japan, Zeal concluded that Akira's stealth skill was likely at max level and suspected he might even surpass the new hero in strength. Saran and Zeal discussed the rarity of skills exceeding level 9, noting that only the first hero had ever achieved such a feat. They explained that ordinary people in this world could rarely surpass level 7, while summoned individuals like Akira could easily break through these limits. Zeal reflected that Akira likely used his stealth skill during the crystal ritual, avoiding attention from the king. Saran praised Akira's talent, acknowledging his clever application of skills and outstanding ability. Saran asked Zeal if they should bring Akira into their camp, considering how valuable his power could be for their mission. Saran and Zeal discussed revealing their thoughts to the king, considering Akira's potential after realizing the king's true nature. Saran decided to personally train Akira starting the next day, focusing on both dungeon survival and the assassin job. Tsukasa trained rigorously with his sword, panting as he practiced in the morning sunlight, preparing for upcoming challenges. Akira reflected on his complicated feelings towards Tsukasa, remembering their history and hidden rivalry. Flashbacks revealed Akira and Tsukasa's shared past, having attended the same classes from kindergarten through high school, highlighting their long-standing connection. Tsukasa confronted Akira, surprised that despite sitting near each other in class, Akira didn't remember him. Tsukasa reflected that Akira seemed selfish, popular, and skilled, yet showed no interest in others. He noted Akira's tendency to drift away, skip group training, and disrupt team unity, even now in Morrigan. Despite these traits, Saran observed Akira's performance and noted that he was doing reasonably well. Saran teased Akira about his training, comparing it to others' programs, while Akira had finished all the exercises, despite Zeal giving up. Tsukasa noticed Akira becoming close with the Knight Commander, feeling frustrated that Akira wouldn't look at him. Amelia the princess offered water to Tsukasa, acknowledging his hard work during training. Tsukasa was honored to receive the drink personally from Amelia, calming himself and taking pride in the gesture. 1 month later, Tsukasa reflected on his determination to surpass his limits, promising to become far stronger than expected. The heroes, including Akira and Tsukasa, faced a large group of monsters at a castle gate, ready to put their training to the test. Saran instructed Tsukasa to stand proudly before the people as brave heroes, encouraging confidence in the group. The heroes, including Tsukasa and Akira, marched forward with the townspeople, watching, demonstrating unity and courage. Akira activated his stealth skill, observing the crowd while Tsukasa interacted with the townspeople, quickly adapting to the situation. Akira noticed a cloaked figure glaring at the heroes and approached cautiously to understand her intentions. The figure questioned Akira about the sacrifices made to summon the heroes. Revealing her curiosity about the true cost of heroism, she proposed meeting again after Akira discovers the answers, hinting that their paths will cross in the future. Akira studied the map carefully, observing the 4 continents and continent dungeon, planning their next dangerous mission. The knights promised to accompany Akira into the dungeon, while he reflected on past months' intense training. In the dungeon, the heroes fought fiercely, swinging axes and spears, defeating monsters while dodging deadly attacks. Some enemies broke through defenses, injuring adventurers, who desperately called for medics amid chaos and confusion. Akira, panting, surveyed the battlefield, realizing this dungeon's burden was heavier, but he and knights persisted. Akira and the party reached the first 30 floors, moving carefully while recalling their recently strengthened stats. They laughed confidently, thinking the dungeon was easier than expected, unaware that danger was approaching quickly. Suddenly, a massive trap triggered, sending rocks and debris crashing toward the adventurers, forcing immediate evasive action. Saran shouted orders, telling everyone to hold formation tightly while the party desperately tried to survive. Akira and Amelia assessed the battlefield, considering retreat as exhaustion and losses mounted, still determined to advance. Amelia led the retreat, instructing everyone to follow her path while Akira prepared to block enemies. Amelia summoned divine power, raising her sword, unleashing the heavenly blade to strike the approaching monsters. Saran shouted for the party to flee, while Akira and knights cleared the way toward the surface. The heroes encountered more monsters on the next floor, forcing them to adjust their escape route quickly. Kyosuke recalled a special item, holding it tightly, hoping it could help them overcome the dangerous floor. Kyosuke instructed everyone to fall back, handing out smoke bombs, preparing the party for a tactical retreat. The smoke bombs exploded, repelling monsters as the adventurers moved quickly, clearing space for the fleeing party. Kyosuke urged the group not to separate while guiding everyone through the dungeon, keeping the monsters at bay. The heroes invoked elemental magic, combining fire and wind spells to destroy monsters threatening their escape route. Blaze shot and wind bullet cut through remaining enemies, opening a safe path toward the dungeon's surface. Akira and Emilia observed the upper floors, realizing all heroes had reached safety after intense dungeon battles. Soren warned Akira that a one versus many fight was dangerous, suggesting retreat to keep the assassin alive. Suddenly, they detected movement from the upper floor, prompting the knights to investigate the new threat quickly. A massive minotaur appeared, towering over the party, surprising Akira and the knights with its sudden presence. Kyosuke questioned why a deep dungeon monster had appeared on upper floors, forcing the group to prepare carefully. Akira and Emilia confirmed all heroes reached the upper floors safely, taking a brief moment to rest. Soren warned Akira against fighting alone, emphasizing that one versus many battles were too dangerous for assassins. Suddenly, a threat emerged from above, prompting the knights to move quickly, readying themselves for battle. A gigantic minotaur confronted the party, its immense size and power startling Akira and the knights. Kyosuke explained their use of smoke bombs, noting how they successfully repelled monsters and protected the team. After using the last smoke bomb, the minotaur emerged from behind, surprising Akira and the party. Sano tried protecting the group, parrying the minotaur's attack, but his sword and hands were damaged. The knights decided to fight the minotaur, giving Akira and companions time to heal and retreat. Kyosuke praised Akira for enduring pain, emphasizing the necessity of protecting their classmates from danger. Akira confronted the group, asking who would protect them if he could not, showing his determination. Kyosuke warned Akira not to sacrifice himself for the Demon Lord, emphasizing heroes shouldn't protect others blindly. Tsukasa demanded to know who would protect their other classmates if Akira abandoned responsibility entirely. Akira replied firmly, stating that everyone should protect themselves, challenging the party's expectations of a traditional hero. Kyosuke and the knights reminded Akira that their training prepared them to defend themselves in emergencies. Tsukasa nodded in understanding, realizing Akira's point and acknowledging that he needed to take care of himself. Tsukasa realized he needed to take better care of his body, questioning his role as hero. He muttered that as the hero, he felt compelled to save everyone, despite exhaustion and pain. Emilia observed Tsukasa's leadership, noting his natural responsibility and determination, despite being cornered in this dangerous situation. Akira asked if anyone between them had healing or exorcist abilities to support the group safely. Ueno Yuki and Hosoyama Shiori revealed their exorcist and healer roles, ready to assist Tsukasa immediately. Akira asked Ueno Yuki to dispel the curse on Tsukasa, while the group focused on survival. Ueno cast Dispel Curse, praying the spell would remove the malevolent curse affecting Tsukasa's soul. The party was shocked, realizing Tsukasa had been cursed this entire time, hidden beneath their notice. Ueno struggled as her dispel failed initially, needing more time to heal Tsukasa's broken arms fully. Akira observed the Minotaur, recognizing that even with the knight's advantage, their attacks were not very effective. Akira hesitated, wondering if leaving Tsukasa's side was wise, while the others healed his injuries carefully. Kyosuke placed a reassuring hand on Akira's shoulder, encouraging him to support Commander Saran immediately. Kyosuke insisted that Akira was far stronger than the others, and they could manage without him. The party raised their fists, expressing determination to protect themselves and relieve Tsukasa from carrying burdens. Akira watched the group, realizing they insisted he focus on Saran, trusting them to handle the situation. Akira hesitated, debating whether to leave the group protecting Tsukasa or assist Commander Saran against the Minotaur. Kyosuke placed a reassuring hand on Akira, encouraging him to move forward, supporting Commander Saran immediately. Kyosuke assured Akira that he could handle the situation, trusting him to confront the Minotaur bravely. Akira resolved to use that skill for himself, determined to survive and ensure his own safety. Emilia agreed, planning so Akira, the knights, and remaining heroes could safely return to the dungeon's surface. Oda, Akira, and Emilia face the massive Minotaur. Akira doubts victory alone. Emilia requests his full power. Emilia tells Akira to explain modern tools like smartphones and airplanes later. Akira agrees if they survive. Akira leaps high into the air, aiming a decisive strike at the Minotaur while allies watch. The Minotaur swings aggressively. Akira dodges skillfully, positioning strategically as Emilia and soldiers prepare for defense. Akira flanks the Minotaur, ready to use a powerful skill. Soldiers step back, anticipating massive impact. Emilia Rosecourt swings her sword fiercely, focusing entirely, She prepares to strike, determined to defeat the enemy. Amelia unleashes a massive lightning attack. The Minotaur recoils, shocked by the sudden, overwhelming magical force. The Minotaur roars, slamming its powerful fists. Amelia maintains her stance while Akira observes carefully. Akira notices a weak point and commands allies. Everyone positions strategically, preparing to exploit the opening quickly. Akira activates shadow magic, striking the Minotaur from above. The attack hits, forcing the beast into defense. Akira uses shadow magic from behind the Minotaur, aided by Saran's light magic, surprising the enemy completely. The combination attack hits perfectly. The Minotaur struggles, caught off guard by the coordinated strike of allies. Akira recalls training the skill, noting it is hard to control. Amelia and Saran support carefully. The Minotaur reels as Akira commands the shadow to swirl, preparing to swallow it entirely, unrelenting. The shadow consumes the Minotaur, lifting and slamming it forcefully. Soldiers and Amelia watch, stunned but relieved. The Minotaur lies defeated. Akira sighs, exhausted, thinking about going home while soldiers and Amelia watch silently. The group moves cautiously through the forest. Saran reminds everyone to stay alert until reaching the castle safely. Akira notices the eerie silence. He wonders if everyone has truly recovered from the exhausting dungeon battle. Akira checks his status, noting wounds and level. He reflects quietly on his strength and skill progress. Akira feels surprised at his own achievements. He remains reserved while Amelia and others approach him cautiously. Akira reaches level 15. He gains intimidation and roar skills, significantly increasing his status and abilities. Akira studies the Minotaur's attacks. He quickly learns new skills from observing the enemy during battle. Akira reflects on the reckless hero. He protected everyone, questioning if the hero gained new skills too. The group finally returns safely to the castle. Soldiers and allies gather for roll call, relieved. Amelia tells Akira to stay at the castle. He hesitates, thinking about his next moves carefully. Saran presents a weapon to Akira. Amelia and Akira observe carefully, curious about what it might be. Akira discovers the weapon is a katana, personally made by the first hero, forged carefully by hand. Amelia explains why Akira receives it. He shares the same era as the first hero. The dagger Akira used before was broken. Amelia explains the katana replaces it, stolen secretly from treasury. Akira inspects the katana. He notices the double-edged blade, black grip, and recalls stories of its lethality. Akira asks if the katana has a name. Amelia explains inscriptions exist in an unreadable ancient language. The inscription reads, Yato no Kami. Akira realizes it likely means God of Nightblade. Feeling nostalgic, the katana carries a message from the first hero, wishing to aid the future wielder, Akira. Akira reflects on the first hero's message, imagining what kind of person he was in that era. Amelia and Saran prepare documents. Akira recalls information about the hero and considers reporting discoveries to them. Akira tells Amelia that the hero is cursed. He explains dispel attempts had no real effect. The scene shifts to the castle exterior. Night falls, showing the group resting after their journey. A princess gazes thoughtfully at a candle, wishing the hero would act like a true hero. The princess realizes something important, gaining understanding about the situation and the hero's hidden struggles. Akira enters the room, addressing the princess. He explains how he cursed the hero, revealing crucial insight. The princess notices Akira in her room at night. She asks if he is one of the hero's friends. Akira responds, observing the princess. He dismisses naive attempts to influence the cursed hero's behavior previously. Akira grabs the cursed dagger. He feels the intense chill within, sensing the magic's dangerous power. Akira explains the curse should now be broken. He questions the princess's motives, politely requesting an explanation. The princess responds, stating she followed the king's orders, indicating her actions were entirely for His Majesty's sake. Akira observes the princess. He learns she was raised without knowing love, her father grieving the queen. The princess raises her hands, casting a magical or divine barrier with sharp crystalline projections outward. She pronounces a threat, intending punishment for anyone obstructing the king, her expression confident and severe. Amelia sits quietly, reflecting on recent events and the princess's behavior, deep in thought about strategy. Saran addresses Akira directly, acknowledging his perceptiveness. Akira silently considers how he noticed the princess's intentions carefully. Akira shows Saran a crystal he found in the princess's room. Saran notes it confirms his observations. Saran examines the crystal carefully. He asks if the hero's curse is truly gone after examination. Akira and Saran discuss further investigation. Amelia decides more time is needed, suggesting they continue tomorrow. Akira looks for a place to rest. He feels uneasy about sleeping in his own room inside castle. Saran reassures Akira. They agree to continue examining the crystal tomorrow. Akira is prepared, ready for instructions. Akira looks outside the castle. He reflects on recent events, considering what his next action should be. Tsukasa calls for Akira. He realizes he overslept, more exhausted than expected, and responds immediately. Tsukasa notes the curse on the hero is broken. Akira confirms he is physically fine, relieved. Saran runs swiftly, motioning for Akira and allies to follow. They prepare to move without hesitation. The group arrives at the princess's location. Akira and Saran observe her closely, ensuring her safety. Commander Saran lies on the ground, surrounded by shocked knights and nobles. Akira rushes toward him, sensing danger. Akira kneels beside Saran, disbelief in his eyes. The commander's life hangs by a thread, and truth seems hidden. Holding Saran carefully, Akira examines the dagger wound. The crowd watches silently, unsure of what really occurred. Akira stands resolute, refusing to stay passive. He blocks anyone from acting rashly, protecting both the truth and Saran. A classmate accuses Akira of the attack, pointing to the dagger. Tension rises as secrets begin to unravel. The crowd accuses Akira of murdering Commander Saran. Shocked classmates stare, pointing at him with disbelief. Voices rise as peers demand answers. Some try to calm the mob, but anger dominates the square. Akira reflects on the broken dagger, recalling it shattered during the Minotaur fight. Confusion clouds his mind. The nobles and princess watch silently. Akira realizes he has been lured into a trap. Akira kneels beside Saran, understanding he must clear the misunderstanding alone, while the crowd remains under the princess's influence. Akira kneels beside Commander Saran, his eyes fixed on the fallen figure, analyzing the situation silently. He drives the dagger into the ground, showing no emotion as onlookers recoil in shock and horror. Akira addresses the nobles and the king, declaring himself a threat and expressing his readiness to leave immediately. The king and guards react with disbelief, struggling to accept that Akira walks freely, despite the accusations. The princess warns Akira of the consequences for knowing too much, demanding he accept punishment, while Saran lies lifeless nearby. The king orders Akira's capture. Soldiers surround him as classmates shout in alarm. Akira activates stealth, disappearing from view, while thinking that small distractions cannot stop him. The guards panic as Akira vanishes, unable to locate him in the sudden confusion. The king commands a search, insisting Akira must still be nearby. Allies and soldiers scan the area frantically. One classmate notices Akira hiding close by, trying to reveal his presence without alerting the soldiers. A classmate confirms that the Night Crows, the king's assassin unit, are targeting Akira. A letter from Saran is also delivered. Akira is urged to leave the castle immediately to avoid capture by the king. He acknowledges the warning. He watches the castle from outside, reflecting on Vice Commander Zeal's advice and hopes for safety. Akira gathers the supplies that Saran had prepared, realizing the betrayal and danger surrounding him. Determined, Akira sprints forward, vowing to avenge Commander Saran, even though he knows his current strength is insufficient. Akira promises himself to survive as he leaps from the castle, determined to overcome the dangers ahead. He encounters goblins in a dungeon corridor, alert and cautious as he navigates past them. Akira prepares to strike a goblin, showing his skills and precision as he moves silently. He defeats a goblin swiftly, maintaining stealth while making his way deeper into the dungeon. Finally reaching the 5th floor, Akira assesses the situation, planning his strategy carefully to continue his journey safely. Akira considers the Continent dungeon as a safe place to hide if the king's forces pursue him. Planning to reach the 100th floor, he moves carefully through the dungeon, slicing and avoiding traps with precision, remaining alert to every sound. Akira discovers a magic stone within a monster's body, noting its value to suppress his mana consumption. He checks the supplies from Commander Saran, including rations, a dagger, and assassination tools, preparing for a long journey. Using his perception skills, Akira senses something unusual approaching and analyzes whether a strong monster or person is nearby. Akira suspects a trap activates nearby, wondering if a hidden danger exists, despite the dungeon seeming empty. He freezes, analyzing the environment carefully, ensuring no threats go unnoticed. Akira identifies a mana-reacting trap, noting that even previously safe paths can still be dangerous. He relies on his skills and senses, carrying supplies while moving cautiously through the dungeon. Steeling himself, Akira decides to move forward carefully, trusting only his own body and techniques to survive. A classmate approaches a grave, walking slowly, reflecting on Commander Saran's passing. He remembers the efforts of Akira and Vice Commander Zeal, who tried to lift the curse affecting him. The classmates have changed since Saran's death, becoming distant and grouping with only their close friends. He notices the tension among them, observing conflicts arising from trivial differences, and feeling lost in the situation. A sudden rustle startles him, and he wonders who or what approaches, gripping the memories and determination tightly. A classmate apologizes nervously, having startled another while moving through the forest. They exchange polite words, discussing efforts to break the curse affecting their classmates. He learns that some classmates were not cursed, observing how their current situation affects trust and interactions. The classmate explains her skills as an exorcist, confident that her curse resistance is stronger than others. They plan to meet the next day, reflecting on progress made in lifting the curse and the ongoing challenges. The classmate asserts her ability to resist curses and encourages trust, claiming two heads are better than one. He reflects on the hardship of being alone and the difficulty of relying on others during crises. She insists on caution, bringing her sword for protection, showing how trust must be earned carefully. They laugh together, breaking tension, as he realizes it has been a long time since interacting with others this way. He approaches Commander Saran's grave, holding a flower, promising to change the world as the hero and to honor Saran's memory. The classmate notices the flower placed at Commander Saran's grave, commenting on its suitability. She explains that the hollyhock symbolizes heart to believe in the language of flowers. He acknowledges the meaning, promising to remember it, reflecting on the encouragement and hope it represents. He looks toward Akira, silently conveying that he will survive and fulfill his promise, asking Akira to wait for him wherever he is. King Edmund and Princess Maria discuss the recent elimination of Saran, praising the Night Crows for their work. The king orders the Night Crows to track Akira, worried that his assassin skills make him a hidden threat. Deep inside the dungeon, Akira sits alone beside a fire, reflecting on the monsters he has defeated. He notices that nearly 10 days have passed since entering the dungeon, keeping track of time through his internal clock. To survive, Akira roasts and eats monsters' meat, rationing carefully while avoiding humanoid monsters for now. Akira checks his skills, carefully managing stealth, threat detection, and stamina to maintain his strength. He eats to prepare his body, knowing the next room is the boss room deep inside the dungeon. Every 10 floors, a giant door blocks the way, marking the boss floors, and Akira recalls the 5 previous battles. The fight against the 50th floor boss, Fenrir, is brutal, especially with the Red Wolf accompanying it. Akira uses stealth strategically, striking each opponent from behind, reflecting on improving his sword techniques further. Akira decides to focus on raising his curved blade skill from the 51st to the 59th floor, without using stealth or threat detection. He gathers his supplies and prepares to move forward, uncertain if he can maintain this strategy for the remaining floors. Akira enters a vast empty chamber, approaching the door that leads to the next boss room. He notes that the door closes behind him and cannot reopen until the boss is defeated, emphasizing the challenge ahead. The final boss emerges, a massive, intimidating beast, forcing Akira into a life-or-death confrontation. The massive boss charges at Akira, showing incredible speed and power, forcing him to prepare for a deadly battle. He observes the creature's form, a lion's head and upper body, goat's lower body, and a venomous snake as its tail. Akira realizes the monster resembles a chimera from Greek mythology, signaling a one-on-one fight. The chimera roars fiercely, lunging at Akira with massive fangs ready to strike. Akira reacts instantly, noting its intimidation and roar abilities, bracing himself to counter the powerful attack. Akira dodges the chimera's aggressive charge, positioning himself carefully while gripping his sword. He strikes at the creature, finding it incredibly hard and resistant, testing his skill and reflexes. The chimera attacks with its snake tail, spitting venom while trying to corner Akira. He realizes the fight is more than a one-on-one battle, forcing him to reconsider his strategy. Akira notes the monster has no blind spots, even on its back, making every move critical. Akira realizes the fight is far more dangerous than he expected, worse than a 2-on-1 battle. The chimera lunges aggressively, its massive claws smashing the ground as Akira dodges nimbly. Akira counters quickly, striking at its lower body while evading the snake tail. The beast claws and bites, forcing Akira to jump back to avoid severe damage. He keeps moving, dodging ferocious attacks as the monster relentlessly pursues him across the chamber. Akira struggles on the ground, realizing his ribs are broken, yet he resolves to fight with all his strength. He rises, preparing to use every ability he has, facing the chimera without hesitation. Akira unleashes his shadow magic, attacking the monster with a concentrated, powerful strike. His consciousness begins to fade from exhaustion and extreme mana consumption, threatening his control over the fight. Meanwhile, Amelia observes and analyzes shadow magic, noting its incredible power but dangerous flaws. Akira faces the chimera, reminded to never lower his guard while using shadow magic. The room fills with the stench of blood as the battle intensifies, marking the struggle's brutality. He reflects that fighting a boss without skill is nearly impossible, acknowledging the monster's overwhelming strength. Akira struggles, realizing the fight is exhausting and extremely difficult. Even with shadow magic, his injuries and mana consumption exceed safe levels, forcing him to carefully manage his powers. He activates a recovery mode, using shadow magic to compensate for insufficient mana, sustaining his combat abilities. The god of creation, Aether, formed the sky first, then created the land beneath it. Aether shaped humans, elves, demon folk, and beastmen, giving them land, work, and the status to protect themselves. People desiring more lands, resources, and power began waging wars, revealing they were not much different from the gods. Angered by their actions, Aether created monsters and divided the land, sending demon folk to the volcanic continent. Volcano elves settled in the sacred forest, while humans and beastmen continued fighting, struggling for survival until the very end. Humans won the fight for land, claiming the largest continent, Cantonin, while beastmen received Brute. The four races each settled on their own continent, but tension remained after the wars ended. Even now, the demon folk continued to attack, staying the common enemies of humans, elves, and beastmen. Akira recalled the day he first met Commander Saren, remembering the training and guidance he received. Awaking from his reflection, Akira noticed his wounds had healed, leaving him hungry but ready to continue. Akira found chimera meat, noting it seemed fresh, and considered roasting it before eating. Using a magic stone, he learned to cook safely. Understanding simple lifestyle magic worked without skill. After eating, Akira reflected on his sudden healing, puzzled at surviving near death without revival skills. He questioned whether a random passenger or unknown magic had healed him in the locked boss room. Inspecting his status, Akira realized he had gained a new skill. Surprised by the mysterious message, Akira reflected on the message, wondering about the mysterious good luck and the skill he finally obtained. He realized obtaining the skill earlier might have allowed him to prevent the assassination of Commander Saran. Walking through the boss room, Akira thought about the consequences of his new abilities and untapped potential. Suddenly, something fell from above, alerting Akira and forcing him to react quickly to the incoming threat. Activating his perception and threat detection, Akira sensed another person nearby, preparing to respond to the unknown presence. Akira searched for the source of the threat, deciding to defeat the slime first before moving forward. He attacked aggressively, silencing the slime and preparing for any further attacks while staying alert. Observing the defeated slime, Akira judged it weak and felt confident in his growing strength. The slime remnants revealed a hidden figure, making Akira realize someone or something had been nearby. Akira approached cautiously, discovering a bound elf woman among the slime, signaling a new development in his mission. Akira examined the elf closely, noticing she was unconscious but unharmed after the slime encounter. He realized he couldn't leave her alone in the deep dungeon and felt responsible for her safety. Observing her features, Akira noted her long pointed ears and beautiful face, recognizing her as an elf. He recalled that elves rarely leave their sacred forest and disliked humans who cut trees harshly. Akira sat beside the elf, pondering why she was far from her forest home and what her purpose might be. Akira decided to wait patiently until the elf regained consciousness, ensuring she was safe. He reflected on his life in this world, filled with incidents, learning, and constant training. Bored from waiting and doing nothing, Akira considered trying skills he had previously ignored. He noticed the Eye of the World skill, something he wanted to test, but didn't know how. Determined, Akira decided to give the extra skill a try, preparing to see what it could do. Akira activated the Eye of the World skill, feeling an intense rush of information overwhelm him. His head ached as the skill displayed countless details about the dungeon walls and surroundings. Unable to cope, he immediately canceled the skill, stopping the sensory overload to regain control. Akira reflected that some skills, like shadow magic and Eye of the World, couldn't be used continuously. He examined the skill description, learning that Eye of the World allows him to see the entire truth of the world. The elf began to regain consciousness, and Akira adjusted the Eye of the World skill to focus on her. She slowly opened her eyes, looking around in confusion, unsure where she was in the dungeon. Akira led her through a doorway, moving carefully through the underground chambers to keep her safe. He destroyed obstacles in their path, using his sword to clear a safe passage. Suddenly, another figure appeared, catching Akira by surprise, and drawing his attention immediately. The newcomer revealed himself as Asahina Kyusuke, a samurai. prompting Akira to prepare for the unknown encounter. Amelia wakes in the dungeon as Akira checks if she is hurt. She assures him she is fine while sensing danger approaching. Amelia touches her face, feeling the strain from their recent battle. Her thoughts linger on the looming threat. Akira hands Amelia a strange object. She reacts emotionally, overwhelmed by the gesture, while Akira watches cautiously. Suddenly, Amelia strikes with unexpected force. Akira braces himself, surprised by her reaction and intensity. Amelia collapses, distraught and alone. Akira steps back, silently observing her fragile, abandoned state amidst the dungeon shadows. Akira offers Amelia an object while she watches cautiously from a distance, unsure of his intentions. Amelia accepts the item, silently expressing gratitude. Both sit calmly, the tension easing between them. Akira asks about her encounter with the slime, seeking to understand what happened to her. Amelia avoids answering, still troubled. Akira respects her choice and remains patient as she struggles with her thoughts. They sit together in silence, Amelia eating quietly while Akira observes, sharing a moment of quiet companionship. Akira notices Amelia eating quietly and realizes she may have awakened when he used his Eye of the World skill. He examines her status panel and sees she is a rare high elf, her stats unusually high and MP unmeasured. Akira discovers Amelia also possesses the Eye of the World, a skill as rare as his own. Amelia asks Akira why he is in this place, showing she can view his status panel too. Akira notes her unusual white hair and red eyes, contrasting with typical elves, as he continues increasing his level. Amelia asks Akira what he will do after the dungeon. He considers returning to the Elven continent. Akira explains his plan to leave after finishing the dungeon, but Amelia observes he has no clear place to go. Amelia tells Akira that he has no place in the human castle, leaving him surprised and unsettled. She explains it is because they share the same eyes, suggesting a deeper connection between them. Akira admits his level is too low to understand the Eye of the World fully, while Amelia gently corrects his assumption. Akira and Amelia decide to end the day. Amelia curls up on the floor while Akira sits nearby, watching. Akira widens his threat detection magic, remaining alert as he contemplates the dangers around them. Amelia lies on the cold floor, recalling Akira's words that she has no place in the human castle. She reflects that this applies to herself as well, realizing she too has no place to return. Amelia feels Akira's magic warmth reaching her. Despite his rough way of speaking, she senses his care and protection. Amelia reflects on Akira's kindness, realizing he may be a genuinely good person despite his rough exterior. She recalls her lonely life in the elven village, where no one, not even her sister, cared for her. Observing Akira, Amelia notes that he is not a native of this world, wondering about the world he came from. The scene shifts to a human castle bathed in sunlight, suggesting new events approaching. The hero summons everyone urgently, including Akira, preparing them for an unexpected or critical mission. The hero announces he will leave immediately on a journey, surprising the assembled knights and citizens. Some doubt his decision, whispering about the recent death of Commander Saran and questioning his judgment. The hero explains his actions are influenced by the curse, while others misinterpret his motives. He insists he will leave the castle, whether alone or accompanied, determined to escape the constraints of the king and princess. Several allies, including Asahina, step forward to join him, showing loyalty and support for his independent decision. Tuda Tomoya, Nane's Rintaru, and Waki Daisuke declare they will join the hero on his journey. The hero acknowledges their support, preparing himself for the challenges ahead with determination. The group begins to move through the castle corridors, their steps echoing in the hall. They discuss leaving as soon as preparations are complete. Aware that obstacles may arise, the companions confirm their commitment to the journey, ready to follow the hero to defeat the demon lord. The hero instructs his companions to leave the castle quickly and gather their belongings, avoiding interference. The group rides away from the castle, the sun rising behind it, signaling the start of their journey. The hero expresses relief as the escape proceeds smoothly and asks why the others chose to come with him. They explain that everyone with him is no longer affected by the curse, which has lifted since yesterday. The hero listens as Asahina comments that the change is likely due to the hero's actions, though he is unsure. The hero recounts entering an unfamiliar room, noticing many crystals and realizing he destroyed 6 of them. He had a katana with him, though he did not initially understand its significance. He explains he returned to his room immediately, fearing someone might see him in the other room. The companions examine the katana, wondering if it moved on its own or was cursed. Upon closer inspection, they discover the katana's name is Hakuryu. Noting it is a rare and pure white blade, the hero reflects on the curse and the fact that only 6 companions had it lifted. noting there's still much they don't understand. He motivates the group to continue, urging them to move forward without overthinking the mysteries around them. A castle guard observes that the hero and his friends have already left the castle, surprising the vice commander. The hero's departure also fulfills the late Commander Saran's mission, leaving the remaining knights reassured. The hero receives a farewell from the vice commander, wishing them Godspeed as they journey into a new world. Tsukasa decided the group should leave the forest and retreat from Rita's kingdom's territory. Kisu Kasahina examined his status, realizing his instinct told him to stick close to Tsukasa. He became confident they would eventually be reunited with Akira again, no matter the distance. Tsukasa, Akira, and Kyusuke had always been in the same class since kindergarten, sharing a long history. Tsukasa had always been slightly hostile to Akira, leaving Kyusuke unable to spend time with either of them. Akira and Kyusuke encountered each other unexpectedly at a construction site, both surprised by the meeting. Kyusuke recognized Akira from the kendo club, confirming his identity after a brief hesitation. Akira realized Kyusuke didn't even remember his name, causing an awkward but understanding interaction between them. Kyusuke reassured Akira that working part-time wouldn't get him into trouble, easing his nervousness. They discovered a shared concern for their little sisters, creating a subtle bond during the conversation. Kyusuke showed Akira pictures of his little sister, introducing her with a shy smile. Akira looked at the photos silently, acknowledging the connection without saying much. They realized their little sisters were friends, creating an unexpected and amusing coincidence. Since that day, Akira and Kyusuke began using each other's first names, forming a closer bond. Kyusuke gradually got closer to Akira over time, strengthening their friendship even during school days. Akira's failure to save someone weighed heavily on his heart, leaving him filled with guilt. Since arriving in the new world, Kyusuke had barely spoken to Akira, respecting his choice to stay quiet. Kyusuke wondered if he should have tried to reach out to Akira sooner, regretting lost chances. Akira's actions, like killing Commander Saran, caused others to view him as unforgivable, increasing tension around him. Kyusuke reflected on Akira's expression, questioning the thoughts that had controlled him and the emotions he hid. Akira asked Kyusuke why he was following him, curious about his intentions. Kyusuke explained it was all to meet Akira again, despite their lack of prior conversation. He expressed his feeling that as long as he accompanied Akira, they would eventually reunite. Akira struggled to understand Kyusuke's words, unable to put his thoughts into clear expression. Kyusuke suggested that Tsukasa's hostility toward Akira might stem from Akira being too similar to him. Kyusuke insisted Akira couldn't hate others simply for being similar, while Akira argued strongly. Kyusuke observed that Tsukasa and Akira were alike, each carrying burdens and protecting classmates silently. They entered a large hall filled with threatening monsters, preparing for battle together. Akira called out to Emilia to coordinate their attack against the approaching enemies. Emilia used a gravity-based spell, striking the monsters and demonstrating their combined teamwork in combat. Emilia confirmed their side was clear, and Akira suggested they get a meal soon. Akira considered finding a more comfortable place to rest, realizing his earlier worries were unnecessary. Emilia explained a custom from her country done before eating, prompting Akira to ask for clarification. Emilia showed Akira how to perform the ritual, demonstrating gratitude before eating. Akira invited Emilia to share more about herself, and she happily agreed to talk about her family and life. Akira shared that his family included only his mother and little sister, explaining his father disappeared when he was 10. Kyusuke reflected on Akira's family situation and how they managed by working part-time jobs together. Emilia revealed she also had a little sister, creating a bond of shared family experience with Akira. Akira expressed his insecurity, feeling his sister excelled in everything while he had few skills. He concluded that his sister could not get any better than she already was, showing his acceptance. Emilia asked Akira if he still wanted to increase his level, despite already being extremely strong. Akira admitted he aimed to reach level 100, keeping the goal set by Commander Saran in mind. He reflected on his stats, knowing they already surpassed most humans, and even the summoned hero. Emilia reminded Akira that his body might not keep up if he raised his level too quickly. Akira explained he had previously cleared a dungeon floor relying solely on his swordsmanship to test himself. Akira admitted he could not handle everything alone, fearing he would die without his skills. Emilia offered to help, using magic to seal and create skills for him. Akira was surprised by Emilia's timing, unsure how to respond to her assistance. A dangerous bat appeared suddenly, catching Akira off guard as Emilia warned him. Akira shouted in disbelief as Emilia bravely confronted the threat. showing her willingness to protect him. Amelia told Akira she would help him, knowing he could not handle the battle alone. She used her magic to support him, sealing and creating skills to give him an advantage. Akira struggled to hit or avoid the monster, realizing his usual abilities were ineffective. The white bat's special trait made it difficult to locate, deceiving his senses. Amelia warned Akira not to rely solely on his 5 senses, emphasizing the importance of her guidance. Amelia reminded Akira that she had only sealed his skills, not his mana, encouraging him to sense it. She told him that by controlling his mana, he could also increase his physical abilities. Akira began feeling the familiar sensations he once had, recognizing the control he now possessed. He realized his body could tune its own mana to match the surrounding environment automatically. Akira considered the possibility of not blending with his surroundings, opening a new approach for battle. Amelia reminded Akira to sense the mana flowing in his body, not relying on sealed skills. She assured him that by controlling his mana, he could raise his physical abilities. Akira felt the familiar sensations from his past, regaining his control over his movements. His body automatically tuned his mana to match his surroundings, as it did with his stealth skill. Akira tested this new control, attacking the white bat without blending into his environment. Akira explained that he experimented with his mana, putting Amelia's advice into practice. Amelia expressed astonishment, noting that Akira had made his mana completely independent from his body. She revealed that no normal human could replicate what Akira had just done. With his mana, Akira realized the only person capable of doing the same thing before him was the first hero, leaving him in awe. Amelia reminded Akira to sense the mana flowing in his body, not relying on sealed skills. She assured him that by controlling his mana, he could raise his physical abilities. Akira felt the familiar sensations from his past, regaining his control over his movements. His body automatically tuned his mana to match his surroundings, as it did with his stealth skill. Akira tested this new control, attacking the white bat without blending into his environment. Akira, Oda, and Amelia reached the dungeon entrance, observing the massive spiral staircase descending into darkness. They walked forward, stepping into the dimly lit passage, ready to face whatever awaited below. The chamber ahead opened into a vast room, far larger than any previous boss arena they had encountered. At the 80th floor boss room, Akira scanned the empty space, wondering why no enemy appeared yet. Suddenly, shadows moved violently, and Amelia's attention drew to a threat unseen, signaling the true danger had arrived. A massive dragon appeared above Akira and Amelia, its wings casting a shadow across the floor. Akira observed the creature as it hovered, realizing the enemy was far stronger than anticipated. The dragon swooped downward, forcing Akira and Amelia to evade its deadly attacks. Akira checked Amelia, ensuring she was unharmed, while the dragon remained untouchable in midair. Akira instructed Amelia to use her gravity magic to bring the dragon to the ground, preparing for their counterattack. Akira and Amelia grabbed the dragon, attempting to control its movements as it roared fiercely. Timing their attack, Akira signaled Amelia, preparing for the critical strike against the airborne dragon. Akira's blade pierced the dragon's throat, inflicting a serious wound as the beast writhed violently. Amelia shouted a warning to Akira, who quickly dodged the dragon's retaliatory strike. The dragon struggled midair, its movements erratic, as Akira and Amelia coordinated to bring it down safely. Akira dodged a sudden attack, rolling across the ground to avoid the dragon's swipe. Amelia called out to check on Akira, who confirmed he was unharmed and ready to continue. The dragon, despite the throat wound, still flew fiercely, forcing them to continue using gravity magic carefully. Amelia noted that the dragon felt unusual, far weaker compared to previous boss monsters they had fought. Akira used his Eye of the World to check the dragon's stats, confirming its abilities were unexpectedly low. The dragon lunged toward them again, forcing Akira and Amelia to prepare for its next attack. Akira observed the dragon's stats with the Eye of the World, noticing its strength remained unexpectedly low. Amelia and Akira braced themselves as the dragon continued its aggressive charge toward them. Akira warned Amelia to step back, ensuring she stayed safe while he faced the oncoming threat. The dragon descended rapidly, preparing to strike, as Akira readied his sword to counter the powerful attack. Akira dodged the dragon's fiery attack, moving closer while carefully avoiding its flames. He considered Amelia's advice and the dragon's low stats, preparing his katana for a decisive strike. Akira launched himself at the dragon, closing the distance rapidly as the beast lunged forward. He focused on the dragon's throat, ready to pierce it with precision, blade gleaming midair. The katana struck true, slicing the dragon as Akira maintained his balance, determined to end the fight. Akira activated his shadow magic, preparing for a final decisive attack on the dragon. He closed in on the dragon, dodging its strikes while positioning for the perfect strike. The shadow magic engulfed the dragon, restricting its movements and weakening its defenses. The dragon collapsed, defeated. While Akira and Amelia observed the end of the fierce battle, they stood over the fallen dragon, exhausted but relieved, knowing their combined strategy had succeeded. Akira and Amelia watched in shock as the dragon transformed into a massive black cat, revealing a new form. They realized the dragon had been a cat all along, astonishing them with its true identity. The black cat spoke, mocking Akira for his appearance while acknowledging his strength in defeating it. Akira and Amelia listened, as the cat explained it was the first human encounter on this floor. The cat delivered a message entrusted to it, leaving Akira and Amelia curious about the mysterious sender. The black cat revealed the message was from the Demon Lord, leaving Akira and Amelia in shock. It explained the Demon Lord resided on the continent of Volcano, where demons ruled. The cat warned Akira it would be waiting in the innermost part of the demon castle. Meanwhile, Tsukasa and the others reached a new area, catching their breath after a long journey. The group looked over the landscape, preparing for the next phase of their adventure. They arrived at Yamato, observing the country and planning their approach for the challenges ahead. Oda Akira stood quietly, wondering what the Demon Lord wanted from him, while Yoru the black cat with a third eye observed closely. Yoru explained that all it carried was the Demon Lord's message and could not reveal the ruler's true thoughts, leaving Akira cautious. Yoru revealed its origin as a magical being created by the Demon Lord, serving as his senses and limbs, relaying everything it witnessed. Akira questioned whether the Demon Lord had created the monsters, realizing that everything he knew about the dungeon might be false. Through careful observation and reflection, Akira understood the Demon Lord's direct involvement in shaping the world and the monsters around him. Oda Akira stood silently, contemplating the message from the Demon Lord. Beside him, the mysterious black cat with a third eye appeared, guiding him forward. The cat explained that it only carried the Demon Lord's words and could not reveal his true intentions. Akira listened carefully, sensing hidden power. The cat revealed its origin, magical beings created by the Demon Lord, acting as his senses and limbs. Their perception was directly linked to him. Akira realized that these creatures were the source of the monsters he fought. Everything he knew about creation was now in question. Reflecting on past battles, Akira understood the Demon Lord's direct involvement. Legends and human knowledge could be false, and truth required careful observation. The black cat turned to Oda Akira and commanded him to end its life. Akira stared, surprised and hesitant. The cat explained that its duty was complete, and it held no value now that the transformation spell was lifted. Akira refused, unable to harm the giant silky furred creature. He admired its strength and beauty, feeling a strange bond. Amelia joined, attempting to fluff the cat as well, creating a chaotic but tender moment. Despite protests, the cat endured, and Akira realized the loyalty and limits of these magical beings, choosing care over destruction. Akira Oda rides on Night, the Black Panther, reflecting on the consequences of returning. He worries his actions may bring ridicule upon him if he goes back. Akira encourages Night to join him and Amelia, promising that their words and deeds will reach the Demon Lord. Night considers the plan, intrigued by Akira's confidence. Akira explains that Night will find purpose and a place among them. Night is conflicted, puzzled by Akira's reasoning yet slowly warming to the idea. After deliberation, Night agrees to accompany Akira and Amelia, acknowledging their authority and the outcome of their battle. The three rest together, with Night relaxed beside Akira and Amelia, signaling the start of a new alliance and shared journey. Akira, Oda, Amelia, and Night examine the dungeon floor, searching for any exit. They find nothing, and note the absence of doors or stairways. Night realizes the dungeon refuses to acknowledge the presence of its boss, himself, which keeps the floor trapped in a standoff. Akira observes the dungeon's nature, understanding that the Demon Lord's creation has its own will, ensuring monsters cannot flee. Night and Akira discuss the dungeon's consciousness, questioning whether it might turn violent against them. Night warns that the dungeon will prevent their escape and starve them unless its control ends with his death, leaving them trapped. Akira reassures Night that he chose to bring him along despite the easier option of killing him. Night listens carefully, sensing Akira's resolve. Amelia steps forward, prompting Akira to ask about a way to escape the dungeon. They discuss next steps together. Amelia suggests giving Night a proper name, signaling the start of a deeper bond between the group. She explains that the naming involves forming a pact, a contract linking the soul of a human and a monster. Akira reflects on humans born with connections to monsters, realizing Night's potential as a rare, powerful ally in the dungeon. Night comments on Akira's unusual mana, noting that most humans would falter just by sensing it. Akira listens, contemplative. Night questions whether Akira is even human, prompting Akira to reflect that he may have already stepped into the monster's domain. Knight wonders if people would normally describe themselves as Akira does, deciding it's more convenient for him that way. Akira moves closer, touching Knight's paw, signaling trust and mutual respect. Knight and Akira share a silent understanding, solidifying the beginning of a strong bond between human and monster. Akira formally introduces himself as Knight's new master, pledging to stay by his side until death. He grants Knight a name, Yoru, inspired by his fur, which resembles the night sky. Yoru acknowledges the new name with quiet approval, feeling the weight of the bond. Akira and Emilia warmly welcome Yoru, making him feel part of the group. The pact is sealed, marked by a crest on Akira's hand, allowing them to communicate via telepathy and confirming their unbreakable connection. Akira asks Yoru whether he is still connected to the Demon Lord despite their pact. Yoru confirms calmly, showing trust in Akira. Yoru reassures Akira that the Demon Lord will not interfere. Viewing Akira as his new second master, Emilia reacts with surprise as Yoru yawns, showing his relaxed and trusting attitude toward Akira. Sudden light appears in the dungeon, capturing the attention of Akira, Yoru, and Emilia. Yoru reveals that a path to the next floor has opened, confirming Akira's reasoning and their progress in the dungeon. Akira Oda entered a luminous chamber where a magic circle glowed intensely on the floor. The light pulsed with mysterious energy. He noticed a floating sphere nearby, radiating power. Emilia Rose Quartz followed, observing the strange phenomenon. The magic circle appeared different than before. There was no staircase or door, only intricate patterns stretching across the floor. Emilia explained it was a transferring magic circle, able to send anyone to a desired location. Akira analyzed its potential. Akira realized the circle obeyed a single person's will. If multiple people entered, everyone would be transported to the same location. Akira Oda examined a magic circle that resembled the one from his classroom, glowing with familiar energy. He considered the possibility that someone in the real world, dissatisfied with daily life, might have wished to enter a parallel universe. Emilia Rose Quartz touched his shoulder gently, reminding him that others likely dreamed of the same escape at least once. Their black cat, Familiar, Knight, seemed restless as Akira pondered the implications of the magic circle. Akira and Emilia paused to eat, the simple act grounding them before deciding their next move through the portal. Tori-chan and her friends enjoyed a meal together, savoring the taste of the food and the lively atmosphere. They marveled at the quality of the rice and the fresh seafood, excited to experience a new country's cuisine. Tori-chan smiled, noting that the bath, clothes, and food made her feel truly happy, still enjoying spicy flavors. Asahina-kun mentioned a book he wanted to find, inviting his friends to meet later to discuss it. He explained that there was too much about this new world that they were unfamiliar with. Emphasizing careful observation and learning, Akira Oda and his companions arrived at a new region called Yamato, grateful for the chance encounter with a forest merchant that led them here. Reflecting on past mistakes, they realized they had been foolish to avoid the castle library, missing important knowledge about the world. Asahina-kun suggested joining Akira in the search for the book, agreeing that traveling together would make the journey easier and more resourceful. They discussed the country's charm, noting its resemblance to Japan and the unique experiences it offered. Akira planned to advance toward the continent where the Demon Lord awaited, preparing carefully while acknowledging that joining forces was necessary for success. Asahina-kun reflected on his role as the hero, focusing on defeating the Demon Lord and returning everyone safely to the original world. Tori-chan and her friends suggested checking the harbor, ensuring everyone's clothes were dry and preparing for their next destination. Asahina-kun wondered if Akira was properly eating, while organizing the group into smaller teams for efficiency. Akira, Emilia, and Knight realized that the 80th floor was the labyrinth's last, indicated by the absence of stairs or doors. Knight explained that passing through the magic circle would take them to their desired location, confirming it followed the labyrinth's will. Akira Oda felt uneasy about the 80th floor of the labyrinth, noting they had likely explored the entire area but had not yet reached level 100. He remembered Commander Saran's advice, aiming to reach the labyrinth's higher levels efficiently. Emilia Rose Quartz and Knight listened carefully as he explained. Knight revealed the identity of Saran Mijere, surprising Akira, who realized the commander had left guidance for him. Knight confirmed Saran had died long ago at the main temple, but his testimony influenced Akira's strategy in the labyrinth. Emilia expressed pain from the revelation, and Akira reflected on Saran's overwhelming strength, recognizing he had surpassed ordinary humans and left a lasting impact. Knight explained to Akira that many struggles had occurred in the labyrinth, and relying solely on sword techniques could be dangerous, especially at the main temple. The labyrinth was filled with monsters that relied on strong physical attacks, making careful strategy essential. Akira realized he had underestimated the challenge, surprised by Knight's warning about the labyrinth's hidden threats. Knight clarified that magic was more effective than swords in defeating monsters, citing the example of the Chimera. Akira understood the labyrinth's hard mode and recognized that training with a sword alone throughout the labyrinth would be extremely difficult. Amelia Rosequartz asked Knight about other labyrinths, learning that each had its own unique characteristics, with some resistant to magic and others to physical attacks. Akira considered that reaching a level 100 floor might require traveling to a labyrinth on a different continent, strategizing for their journey. After finishing their meal, the group prepared to move forward, ensuring they were ready for the next challenge. Knight shrank and leapt, signaling it was time to begin moving again, demonstrating their readiness to continue exploration. Akira checked that everyone was prepared, and with Amelia and Knight, he led the team onward, beginning the next stage of their journey. Akira Oda stood before a glowing magic circle, realizing it could return him to the original world. He thought of his mother and little sister waiting for him, urging himself to consider going back. Despite the pull of home, Akira acknowledged responsibilities and unfinished tasks in this new world. Amelia Rosequartz approached him, offering reassurance as he decided he could not go back yet. Akira confirmed his choice, preparing to move forward with Amelia and Knight by his side. Together, they stepped into the magic circle, leaving the conquered continent labyrinth and advancing to the next stage with new allies. Amelia and Marika quietly explored a locked chamber filled with scrolls and artifacts. They whispered, careful not to alert their father. Marika pointed to an ancient scroll. Amelia leaned closer, examining the illustration of two identical girls facing each other, surrounded by strange runes. Amelia noticed the details. One girl had gold hair and green eyes, the other white hair and red eyes. Both shared the same face. The characters under the illustration resembled Amelia. Marika tried to read the cryptic text, struggling to understand its meaning. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared, offering to reveal the secret behind the mysterious twins and their connection to Amelia and Marika. Amelia and Marika demanded to know the identity of the hooded figure. Both girls leaned forward, eyes wide with curiosity. The figure revealed the cryptic word, atonement. The girls stared, trying to comprehend its meaning and connection to the twin images. The chained door lay shattered on the floor, pieces of the lock scattered, evidence of sudden, unexplained force. Energy erupted around them, light and symbols filling the room. The girls shielded themselves as the magic surged outward. Outside, Akira appeared with Knight. Together with Amelia, they observed the mysterious ritual, realizing the twins' fate was tied to something greater. Amelia, Akira, and Knight arrived in the elf territory forest, staring at the massive sacred tree. Amelia felt uneasy, questioning why they were there. Akira and Knight analyzed the area. Amelia admitted she wanted to go somewhere with Akira. Realizing the forest marked a dangerous zone, Akira warned Amelia that returning to her country in this location was dangerous. She understood the risk but remained determined. Akira confirmed the severity of the situation. He felt the need to act quickly, aware of an unseen threat. Suddenly, an attack struck. Akira grabbed Amelia to protect her, reacting with speed and precision as danger approached. An arrow landed dangerously close to Akira and Amelia. They crouched behind him as he assessed the threat. Akira's gaze sharpened, tracking movement in the forest. The source of the attack was approaching rapidly. Amelia prepared her bow, aiming precisely at the approaching enemy. Akira braced, ready to act. Arrows flew from both sides. Amelia and Akira narrowly dodged, coordinating to defend against the sudden assault. Akira restrained a captured attacker, holding them tightly. Amelia and Knight watched cautiously, unsure of the assailant's intentions. Amelia faced Liam Gladiolus, a noble elf, whose expression showed both anger and determination. Tension filled the air. Liam accused Amelia of abandoning her country, confronting her about actions during his exploration. Amelia denied the claim, insisting she never fled. Liam pressed further, questioning whether her disappearance was truly for the best. Amelia stayed silent, conflicted but firm in her stance. He declared that Amelia no longer had a place in the country, emphasizing that Karika-sama now held her role. Amelia's resolve wavered slightly. Liam warned that Karika, an elite, would soon arrive, and escape would be impossible. Akira and Amelia braced for the coming confrontation. Amelia leaned on Akira, exhausted. He warned her rambling was distracting as they prepared to move. Akira instructed Knight to grow to full size, planning to use him to carry a hostage. Knight complied, expanding rapidly. The large three-eyed cat stood before them, the forest shrine crowded with similar magical creatures. Akira assessed the route ahead. Akira urged Amelia to mount Knight. She hesitated briefly, but they had to escape immediately. Knight sprinted forward, carrying Akira and Amelia. They raced through the forest, leaving danger behind while remaining vigilant for pursuit. Amelia warned Akira that elves in the forest would prevent their escape. He held her firmly, preparing to navigate the danger. Akira instructed Knight to lead them to a wide area where he could maneuver safely despite the dense trees. Amelia followed closely. Amelia pointed the direction ahead. Knight sprinted forward, carrying Akira and Amelia with precision through the forest. The trio raced at high speed, weaving between trees as the forest blurred past them. Finally, they reached an open area. Akira and Amelia gazed back at the dense forest, realizing they had temporarily escaped the pursuing elves. Akira, Amelia, and Knight paused after crossing the open field. The large cat observed the forest, sensing hidden dangers nearby. Akira assessed their surroundings. Amelia noted they might be able to escape the forest safely, trusting his judgment. Suddenly, they realized they were already surrounded. Akira prepared for immediate action as danger encircled them, while Amelia clung to him, tense but ready to follow his lead. Akira instructed Amelia to stay on Yoru while countless bloodlusted enemies closed in, leaving no chance to escape. Akira requested a favor from Yoru as arrows and attacks rained around them, threatening Liam's life from the enemy. He threatened the attackers, demanding Liam's immediate release and safe passage for Amelia, standing firm against overwhelming odds. Amelia refused to compromise, stepping forward, asserting that surrender or negotiation could not happen under any circumstances. Princess Karika Rosequartz appeared, confronting the group and declaring that their escape would not be allowed. Amelia recognized a familiar figure approaching and realized it was her younger sister, someone Akira had heard about. Akira questioned Amelia's royal status while Yoru observed, and the sister revealed knowledge Akira lacked about the country. The sister displayed a scar, explaining it was caused by a poison potion Amelia had given her, showing past betrayal. She declared that anyone harming the royal family, including her own sister, must be treated as a criminal, standing firm. Amelia's sister insisted that Amelia acted with harmful intent, contradicting any justification, emphasizing the rift within the royal family. Amelia tried to explain that she gave Karika a potion, but Karika accused her of causing the injury herself, questioning evidence. Karika claimed arguing was useless, asserting that Amelia's very existence brought disaster to the country. She called Amelia the unwanted child, further isolating her and intensifying the conflict between sisters. Akira and Yoru remained silent, observing the tense standoff. While the sisters' emotions and accusations hung heavy, Karika confronted Akira directly, acknowledging he brought the criminal there, signaling a shift in focus from Amelia to Akira's responsibility. Karika used her mesmerization skill, and Akira was warned not to look into her pupils to avoid being controlled. Amelia realized it was too late to stop the effect, her concern mounting as Akira's focus wavered. Karika claimed Akira's heart was already hers, removing any alliance Amelia could rely on, asserting complete control. Amelia demanded that Karika apologize to Akira, rejecting Karika's assertion that Akira belonged solely to her. Amelia shouted that Akira's heart was his own property and could not be selfishly claimed by anyone, including Karika. Karika confronted Amelia with anger over her attitude, noting that she had been trembling in fear until now and refusing to follow orders. Karika attempted to assert control using her mesmerization skill, claiming that nobody could escape once it was active and declaring Akira hers. Amelia rejected Karika's claim over Akira, insisting that he was not someone else's possession, challenging Karika's authority and skill. Karika questioned why her mesmerization did not work on Akira, realizing that he might be stronger than she expected. Karika expressed disbelief at Akira's resistance, asserting her rank and strength as a gold-rank adventurer, yet facing unexpected opposition. Akira realized Karika was a gold-rank adventurer, one of only 4 in the world, confirming her immense power. Karika raised her sword, determined to teach Akira a lesson, asserting that lowly individuals must know their place. She challenged Akira directly, demanding a fight and promising that if he lost, he would hand over Amelia. Akira remained calm, acknowledging Karika's connection to Amelia as her little sister, refusing to escalate recklessly. He drew his sword, signaling readiness to confront Karika, setting the stage for a duel to determine control. Karika was shocked that Akira did not intend to kill her, leaving her speechless and questioning his resolve. The group prepared for confrontation, standing apart in the clearing, tension rising as both sides faced each other. Akira confirmed the surrounding elves were only observers, while Karika readied herself fully prepared to fight. Karika lunged at Akira, striking aggressively, attempting to assert dominance and force him to yield. Akira countered her attack skillfully, landing a precise strike, demonstrating superior strength and control in the duel. Kirika was stunned by Akira's restraint, realizing he did not intend to kill her despite the intense confrontation. The aftermath left both sides standing apart in the clearing, tension lingering as Akira prepared to leave. Akira promised Emilia and Yoru that they would no longer be pursued, solidifying his authority over the situation. Kirika tried to call for her guards, demanding they prevent the escape of Akira and Emilia, frustrated by his control. Despite Kirika's command, the surrounding elves hesitated, and Akira remained calm, signaling that the situation no longer followed her expectations. Kirika's guards accused Akira of using a trick to defeat her, unable to accept her loss in the duel. Emilia and Akira rode Yoru, dodging a volley of arrows fired by the surrounding elves. Akira initiated his plan, activating his shadow magic while Yoru moved at high speed, preparing to counter the attack. Shadow magic enveloped Akira and Yoru, blocking and destroying the incoming arrows effortlessly, demonstrating superior skill. The elves were stunned as their arrows shattered, leaving Kirika and her forces in disbelief at Akira's unexpected power. Kirika was shocked to witness a new skill from Akira, capable of overwhelming many people at once, leaving her in disbelief. Emilia and Akira were stunned as a new figure appeared. Emilia recognized him as her father, arriving unexpectedly, changing the situation entirely. Emilia returned to the battlefield unexpectedly, finding her father confronting her. The royal messenger had summoned her back to the palace, interrupting her mission in the remote region. Her father revealed he had been watching all along. Emilia had challenged a powerful man to a duel and was defeated in a single strike. The duel's outcome was catastrophic. Troops in the rear had been ambushed, and as a member of the royal family, the situation was deemed disgraceful. Her father demanded answers, questioning what Emilia intended against her older sister. Emilia, conflicted and angry, insisted she would never harm her sister, revealing the shocking identity of the opponent. Emilia faced her father, who struck her lightly to test her resolve. She stood firm, unflinching, despite the shock. Nearby, Akira watched silently, along with other allies, as Emilia's expression reflected both surprise and determination. Reports arrived that Emilia had treated Kirika harshly. The messengers warned the king about the consequences, emphasizing the severity of her actions. Her father, displeased, ordered Kirika to disable the mesmerization effect she had used on the soldiers, expressing his disappointment at her recklessness. Emilia lowered her gaze, awaiting judgment as her father addressed her solemnly, highlighting the tension between duty and personal choice. Emilia apologized to her father for losing sight of her responsibilities, acknowledging she had failed to watch over her actions. Her father asked if she truly wished to leave the country with Akira, testing her resolve and intentions. Emilia remained silent, her expression serious as she considered her father's words and the weight of her choice. Her father reminded her of her royal duties, emphasizing that she could not abandon her obligations, despite the promise made in the duel. The king commanded Akira to duel once more, challenging both Emilia and her companion to prove their resolve and honor. Akira stepped forward, challenging the king to acknowledge him if he won the duel, signaling his resolve and courage. The king refused, declaring that the duel would be fought by Kirika, surprising both Akira and Emilia. Emilia hesitated, reminding her father that Kirika had already lost once, but the king's decision was firm. He scolded Kirika for overestimating her abilities and underestimating her opponent, emphasizing the consequences of carelessness. The king reminded Kirika of her status as the strongest elf swordsman and commanded her to fight again under his name. The king addressed Akira, reminding him that he was originally an illegal trespasser. He would be judged based on the strength he demonstrated. The king ordered all to follow him back to the palace, signaling a shift in authority and expectation. Akira reflected on the elf king's strictness, acknowledging that he was a formidable obstacle and recognizing the challenge ahead. Emilia realized her father's actions were strict but fair, revealing that he cared for Kirika's growth rather than pampering her. Emilia explained to Akira that her father gave Kirika the chance for a rematch, showing his firm but thoughtful approach to royal duty. Emilia reflected on her father's consistent favoritism toward Kirika, feeling the weight of her own neglected status in the family. She confessed that her parents never wanted her to be born, leaving her to feel unloved and like a mistake. Akira tried to understand her perspective, acknowledging the difficult emotions behind her words and her sense of exclusion. The group arrived at the Grand Elf Palace, its massive architecture emphasizing the authority and legacy of the royal family. Akira observed the palace in awe, noting the scale and splendor of the elf kingdom, while Emilia quietly processed her feelings about her family. Akira and Emilia arrived at the palace entrance, dwarfed by the massive doors and the grand scale of the elf kingdom. Emilia explained that the palace ministers, nobles, and servants were all under Kirika's mesmerization, showing her skill and influence. The king announced that, under his authority, Kirika Rosequartz and Akira Oda would duel, formalizing the challenge before the court. The king acknowledged both duelists standing before him, emphasizing the importance of the duel as a display of honor and skill. The court erupted in support, cheering for Kirika as the tension built before the formal duel began. Akira questioned Amelia, asking why she hadn't dispelled the mesmerization, highlighting the rules set by the king. Amelia prepared for the duel, choosing not to use her katana against Akira, signaling her determination to fight without restraint. The king commanded the duel to begin, and Amelia launched herself forward with full force, demonstrating her skill and resolve. Akira acknowledged her extraordinary swordsmanship, impressed by her technique and the precision of her attacks. He prepared to respond, raising his own weapon and signaling readiness to engage, fully determined to settle the duel. Akira Oda faced the elf warrior, katana raised, preparing for a duel that seemed inevitable. Tension filled the battlefield. The elf glared fiercely, determined to prove her loyalty and strength, her eyes fixed unwaveringly on Akira. She advanced, contemplating her father's stubborn rules and hoping her actions would honor her sister's kindness. With swift precision, Amelia Rosequartz unleashed a gust of wind magic, her blade slicing through the air toward Akira. The clash erupted violently, their powers colliding in a fierce storm of speed and strength, neither willing to yield. Akira Oda noticed Amelia Rosequartz's sword attacks had become faster and stronger, her wind magic enhancing every strike. He prepared himself, activating his shadow magic and determined to take the duel seriously for the first time. The shadow cloak wrapped around Akira, granting him stealth and protection as Amelia's strikes came relentlessly toward him. Their weapons clashed with force, the battlefield vibrating as both opponents pushed their speed and power to the limits. Akira's eyes narrowed, focusing intently, ready to counter and match Amelia's skill in the escalating duel. Akira leapt forward, dodging Amelia's strike, while the air between them crackled with tension and raw power. Observers, including Kirika and the Black Cat, watched carefully, noting Akira's skill and the subtle gap in their strength. Akira noticed something unusual in Amelia's swings, the sword seeming to echo her emotions as he blocked each attack. Amelia grinned fiercely, denying any weakness, and focused on keeping her face smiling even amid the fierce battle. Akira narrowed his eyes, analyzing her intent, realizing her smile masked a challenge he needed to confront fully. Kirika held the Black Cat tightly, contemplating Amelia's position as an unwanted child in the kingdom's past. Amelia recounted the old superstition that elves once killed one twin at birth, a practice now abolished. She reflected on the difficulty of elven childbirth, explaining that valuable children were no longer sacrificed. Akira confronted her, questioning why she internalized blame for being unwanted, standing determinedly in the duel's aftermath. Amelia admitted her feelings, confessing her sense of being unloved, because she resembled neither parent, revealing her quiet vulnerability. Amelia realized she was a miko, a legendary profession, and struggled to understand her true place in the world. She reflected on the meaning of being loved by God, questioning her identity despite her existence. The vast stage and distant observers amplified her feelings of isolation and her desire to be recognized. Kirika reassured her gently, admiring her beauty and affirming that her presence naturally drew attention. Amelia's internal conflict persisted as she faced her role and questioned why her existence had been overlooked. Amelia reflected on her past, realizing her legendary miko status confirmed her unique importance, despite feeling overlooked. She struggled with the idea of being loved by God, questioning why her existence had been unnoticed. Memories of her twin and the reversed order of birth haunted her, showing what could have been. Akira confronted her mid-duel, emphasizing that she and her sister deserved acknowledgement and respect. Amelia's tears flowed as she admitted her desire to be loved and recognized. Understanding her worth finally, Kirika lashed out in frustration, questioning whether others understood the struggles she had endured, her anger flaring. Akira and Amelia faced her cautiously, parrying strikes while trying to calm her down amid the duel's intensity. From the audience, a voice cried out, calling Kirika's name, breaking through her fury and bringing hesitation. Liam appeared, stepping forward with concern, attempting to reach her emotionally and prevent further harm. The crowd urged Kirika to stop, and she paused, realizing the destructive path she was on, her tears visible. Liam addressed Amelia, asking her to forgive past instances of impoliteness, signaling reconciliation. Akira noticed the change, wondering if Liam had broken free from the previous spell or mesmerization. Kirika faced Amelia, realizing everyone in the kingdom, even after focusing on one Asama, had supported her indirectly. Liam acknowledged Kirika's hard work and unwavering determination, affirming that her efforts had been recognized all along. The Black Cat watched as Amelia prepared, her focus sharp, signaling that action or a duel was imminent. Amelia unleashed a powerful wind strike, demonstrating her mastery and readiness, shaking the battlefield with her energy. Akira shouts as a powerful vortex pulls at Amelia. Shadows twist violently, threatening to swallow the battlefield. He rushes forward to reach her. Amelia notices Yoru, her black three-eyed cat, leaping through the chaos. The familiar's sudden appearance signals a chance to counter the assault. Yoru darts toward Amelia, urging her to get down. Akira braces himself, preparing to defend against the unseen attack spiraling toward them. Amelia blocks the incoming strike with precise magic, while Akira positions himself protectively. The vortex churns, but their combined efforts hold steady. Together, Akira, Amelia, and Yoru brace as the whirlwind intensifies. They move as one, resisting the attack, and the battle rages onward. The battlefield shakes as debris rains down. Akira and Amelia struggle to maintain balance, while the vortex surges around them. Amelia kneels on the ground, exhausted. While Akira reaches out, both brace for another assault, the chaos surrounding them growing. Amelia receives an object from Akira. She studies it quickly, understanding its importance, and nods, preparing for the next step. Yoru watches as Amelia grips the object tightly. She focuses, intending to use it to protect Kirika, determination in her eyes. Amelia raises the holy branch, channeling purification magic. The energy spreads outward, ready to cleanse the battlefield and protect those in danger. The battlefield clears as the purification magic spreads. Dust and debris whirl, revealing the stunned crowd watching the aftermath. Amelia notices her mesmerization fading. She realizes her control over the crowd is gone, leaving her confused and vulnerable. A weapon falls nearby, signaling the shifting momentum. Akira watches, knowing the decisive moment has arrived. Akira confronts Kirika directly. He declares her defeated, standing calm while she kneels. Her strength spent, and spirit shaken. Tears run down Amelia's face. She questions where her strategy failed, overwhelmed by the unexpected turn and her own helplessness. Amelia kneels, reflecting on her efforts unnoticed. Liam had acknowledged her, yet he is now chosen as the candidate for One-sama's fiancé. Akira watches closely, noting Amelia's conflicted feelings. She struggles with the thought of losing Liam, her frustration mounting before the ceremony begins. Kirika takes a bold step, using her mesmerization skill on Liam. The Elf King reacts with shock, unprepared for the sudden control. Kirika and Liam prepare to marry, the crowd witnessing the unexpected turn of events. Amelia stands in quiet astonishment. Kirika reveals her influence over the castle's people. Step by step, she asserts control, ensuring her plan unfolds exactly as intended. Kirika breaks down, confessing she only wanted to reclaim what One-sama took. Tears fall as Akira and Amelia watch silently. She questions her failures, collapsing to the ground. Akira remains calm, observing, ready to intervene if needed. Kirika turns to her father for guidance. He calmly tells her she is wrong, offering a perspective she hadn't considered. Her father explains that Amelia never took everything from her, correcting her misjudgment. Kirika struggles to accept the truth. He firmly addresses Kirika, demanding she listen. She looks up, conflicted, realizing her father's support remains unwavering despite her actions. Kirika sits tense and uncertain. Her father approaches, announcing he has something important to say, a confession. He explains he stole one of her memories during her childhood, revealing a truth Kirika had never known. He clarifies that Amelia was never the one who took from her, it was him. The revelation shocks Kirika. He expresses deep regret for his actions, admitting he should never have done it. Kirika listens, overwhelmed by the truth. He promises to restore the stolen memories using his power. Kirika braces herself as her father prepares the ritual. He places his hands on her head, casting a spell named, beginning the restoration of her lost memories. Amelia faced a powerful presence as the elder elf attempted to erase her memories. The light enveloped her, forcing her to confront a hidden truth. Her thoughts flashed to her younger self training in secret, preparing for challenges she had yet to face. Memories of Liam and her family guided her determination. Amelia's eyes widened as a sudden surge of energy awakened inside her. She realized she could resist the elder's control and fight back. She entered the forbidden depths of the dungeon, walking carefully through its ancient dark passages, determined to grow stronger. A mysterious figure handed her a magical charm to aid her journey. Amelia accepted it, ready to face the trials that awaited within. Amelia reached the surface of the dungeon and was confronted by enormous unexpected monsters. Their power far exceeded her expectations. She swung her sword repeatedly, trying to keep the relentless creatures at bay, but their numbers overwhelmed her quickly. Amelia struggled to escape, desperate to reach the outside, feeling her stamina and options shrinking with each step. The monsters appeared in places they shouldn't, challenging everything Amelia had learned about dungeon rules, and forcing her to rethink her strategy. Surrounded, she fought fiercely, analyzing her options as the creatures pressed in, determined to survive and escape the dungeon alive. Amelia gasped in shock, realizing the danger around her had grown more severe. She spotted familiar faces approaching. Liam and Kirika ran toward her, but Amelia urged them to stay back and call the guards, fearing their safety. Liam reassured her that the king and royal guards were on the way, pressing her to escape the area immediately. Amelia hesitated, worried that the monsters would harm civilians if she left, struggling to make a difficult decision. Suddenly, a monster struck, but Kirika lunged forward to protect Amelia, saving her from imminent danger. Amelia screamed in despair, witnessing a tragedy unfold before her. Tears streamed down her face as she called out desperately. She blamed herself for the disaster, swinging her sword at the enemies, filled with guilt and fury. Kirika tried to console her, explaining that Liam's death wasn't her fault, but Amelia could not let go of her grief. Liam suddenly appeared, alive and uninjured, reaching out to reassure Amelia that he was safe. Amelia stared in shock, realizing her eyes had deceived her. Relief and confusion washed over her as she processed Liam's return. Kirika and Amelia questioned how Liam could appear alive when everyone thought he had died. Confusion and shock filled the air. The elder explained that when they arrived at the dungeon, all they saw was devastation and Liam's dead body. Kirika had gone into grief-driven despair, seeing the dungeon entrance destroyed, and the body of Liam. While the royal guards fought the monsters, the elder couldn't bear seeing Kirika drowning in sorrow, so he intervened. He used his special ability, Oblivion, to lift Kirika's unconscious self, protecting her while secretly bringing Liam back. Amelia used resurrection magic to try and bring Liam back to life, shedding tears as she channeled her power. Kirika watched in disbelief, realizing her sister had risked everything to save Liam, the sibling she thought was lost. The elder explained that Amelia had not only revived Liam, but also sealed the dungeon entrance using gravity magic and created new spells she had never known. Kirika and others realized the extent of Amelia's secret efforts to protect them all, understanding her sacrifices. The elder apologized to Kirika for keeping the truth from her, explaining that Amelia acted to shield her from trauma and potential despair. The elder admitted he had a weak heart and couldn't reveal Amelia's memories sooner, fearing she might be overwhelmed. He explained he had used Kirika's heart as an excuse to withhold the truth, watching over her carefully. Amelia faced Akira, who extended his hand, signaling it was her turn to take control. Kirika looked on, surprised as Amelia hesitated, realizing the responsibility now rested on her shoulders. Akira encouraged Amelia to deactivate her world eye, giving her the chance to regain clarity and move forward. Akira explained to Amelia that her world eye had never been turned off before, clarifying the strange feelings she caused in him. He realized Amelia wasn't truly looking at him all this time. Her gaze had been focused elsewhere, revealing a hidden perspective. Smiling gently, Akira reassured Amelia that there was nothing left to fear, guiding her to talk with Kirika and resolve lingering concerns. Amelia nodded, absorbing his calm words, feeling the weight of her responsibilities beginning to lift. Step by step she moved forward, finally able to let go of the anxieties caused by things she didn't yet understand. Amelia reflected on the expectations others had of her and realized she never fully understood them. Noticing Kirika's hard work and dedication, she admitted she had always raised the level of her world eye, trying to find answers through what she observed in the status window. Amelia faced the overwhelming data, feeling afraid of everything she had tried to monitor, weighed down by constant vigilance. Step by step, she prepared to deactivate her world eye, taking a deep breath to calm herself. Akira watched Amelia, offering silent reassurance as she focused, ready to release the burden of her extra skill and regain clarity. Amelia approached the elder and Kirika, facing the culmination of her emotions after the long, perilous journey. Tears welled in Kirika's eyes as she saw her sister standing before her, overwhelmed by relief and longing. Amelia stared back, realizing the weight of the sacrifices she had carried silently all this time. Both sisters cried, unable to speak, letting the emotions of fear, guilt, and love pour out freely. They embraced tightly, Kirika apologizing for past worries, and Amelia comforting her, marking the beginning of true understanding and reconciliation. Kirika and Amelia embraced tightly, both overwhelmed with sorrow and relief. Tears streamed down their faces as they apologize repeatedly. Amelia gently lifts Kirika's chin, urging her to look directly. Kirika meets Amelia's gaze, hesitant but comforted by her presence. Tears fall freely as Kirika senses Amelia's thoughts. A deep emotional connection is revealed, bridging the distance between them. An elder figure witnesses their reunion, supporting the sisters as they cling to each other. Forgiveness flows silently through the moment. Akira watches quietly, reflecting on the bond of mother and Yui, realizing their struggle arose from trying to face challenges alone. Kirika looks at the elder elf, sensing a fatherly presence. She contemplates the guidance he provides during difficult times. Akira recounts to Emilia the story of his father's disappearance 7 years ago, reflecting on the hardships they endured. Memories of struggles and anger resurface for Akira, as he recalls moments long forgotten, realizing how the absence shaped him. Early in the morning, Akira quietly prepares lunchboxes for himself, Yui, and their sibling, observing routines that comfort the family. Akira and Yui stand together, realizing their twin bond mirrors Emilia and Kirika's connection, despite being separated by school and circumstances. Akira reflects on his father, who raised 2 children alone while caring for their sick mother. He marvels at the sacrifices made quietly. Memories of the Elf Kingdom flash before Akira and Yui. They recall the promise to return to Japan safely after surviving the trials abroad. Emilia urges Akira to act determined. He resolves to search for their missing father, inspired by the responsibility he witnessed in him. The group gathers, standing before the elder elf. They prepare to leave with purpose, knowing their journey continues together. The elder elf formally welcomes Akira again, expressing respect and apology. Bonds are reaffirmed as they step forward into the unknown. Akira and the group arrive at the Elf Kingdom. Musicians play, and a lavish welcome is prepared to honor their arrival. Alone on a balcony, Akira reflects on his long fasting and the bitterness of hunger, appreciating the rare moment of calm. He notices something unusual, the world's eye, and considers its significance, sensing a hidden truth he must uncover. Akira reassures Emilia, explaining that fear does not require pretense. He guides her to face challenges without overacting. Emilia listens closely, recognizing that what she felt in the maze applies here. She admits her fears openly, trusting Akira's words. Akira reflects on his similarity to Emilia, realizing both share fear of great power. They are connected through their struggles. Activating the world's eye for the first time, Akira sees his vision blocked briefly, glimpsing deeper truths hidden within. He witnesses a horrific scene. The Demon King has slain the hero and classmates, leaving devastation in his wake. Akira understands this vision likely represents the near future. The world crumbles in his foresight, confirming the threat is real. Determined, Akira resolves to prevent this future at all costs, feeling the weight of the vision pierce his heart like a spear. Akira notices Emilia's skill, resurrection, and considers the reassurance her power could bring during dangerous journeys. Emilia approaches him quietly. Akira reflects that having her by his side would be comforting, though he hesitates to ask. They meet on the balcony, exchanging apologies. Akira explains he just wanted to feel the night breeze, a moment of calm. He expresses relief that Emilia reconciled with her father and little sister, acknowledging her growth and emotional healing. Emilia thanks Akira, expressing gratitude for his support. Their bond strengthens as they stand together, ready for the challenges ahead. Akira smiles, quietly at Emilia, a subtle moment of trust and understanding passing between them. He asks Emilia if she told the Elven King that she would leave with him. She quietly confirms, reflecting her commitment. Akira explains that her original reason for leaving has now changed, signaling a shift in purpose and direction for both. He shows Emilia the massive, majestic elven landscape, telling her this is where she truly belongs, as a princess of her people. Emilia reacts, surprised, and Akira emphasizes the importance of her place and duty, reinforcing their bond and mutual understanding. Akira and Emilia stand together, gazing upward. Akira encourages her to look at the stars, sharing a moment of calm reflection. Emilia notices the stars, feeling a blessing in their presence. She smiles, reassured by the beauty of the night sky. She expresses her desire to explore more of the world with Akira, excited to share experiences across the wide world. Akira, surprised but moved, listens closely to her enthusiasm. Realizing her eagerness mirrors his own resolve, Emilia promises to support him and follow him in the journey ahead, strengthening their partnership and mutual trust for future challenges. Kirika crashes into her sister, clinging tightly and shouting in surprise. The unexpected reunion brings chaos and relief. Emilia and Akira watch as Kirika explains she searched everywhere for her, expressing her worry and concern. Kirika apologizes, embarrassed, fearing she ruined the moment. Akira reassures her gently, acknowledging her intentions and care. Emilia asks what happened. Kirika explains that it had been a long time since they shared a bed, a private moment she missed. Despite the awkwardness, Emilia acknowledges Kirika's feelings. they share understanding, knowing she is old enough to express herself openly. Akira notices Emilia and Kurika discussing the journey ahead. He observes Emilia preparing to leave with him, a mix of determination and reassurance in her gaze. Emilia thanks Akira warmly, expressing her gratitude and excitement to accompany him, while Kurika watches, understanding the decision. Akira pauses, reflecting silently on what he was about to say, caught off guard by his own emotions. He recalls Emilia's promise to join him, surprised by his joy and relief at her support. Akira realizes how reassured he feels by Emilia's presence and her abilities, mentally acknowledging the strength she brings to their journey. Akira stands alone, thinking about the late hour. He decides it's time to sleep, reflecting on the day's events. A black cat observes him, noting his stubbornness, uncertainty, and reserved nature, silently judging his indecision. The group gathers outside, and the elder elf offers them the option to stay longer, presenting a moment of hospitality. Emilia promises her father she will return safely, reassuring him as Akira prepares to leave without delay. The elder elf entrusts Akira with Emilia's care and arranges an escort to the border, emphasizing the importance of their journey and safety. Emilia reassures her father, insisting he's overprotective. She explains her concern about rising abduction incidents in the country, justifying her actions. She describes why she left the castle, showing her independence and awareness of the dangers surrounding her. The elder elf offers his guards to escort Emilia safely to the borders, emphasizing the importance of ensuring her well-being. Akira and Yui acknowledge the arrangement, agreeing to it. Akira and Emilia ride the Black Familiar, leaving the kingdom. Their journey begins, filled with resolve, determination, and mutual trust. Akira walked through the bustling town streets, observing merchants and adventurers preparing for quests. The city was alive with movement and purpose. He carefully selected scrolls and documents, organizing them methodically. Each choice seemed deliberate, part of a larger plan only he understood. At the Adventurers Guild, Akira presented the completed tasks to the clerk. Emilia watched, surprised by the rapid progress they had achieved. With signatures completed, their promotion was official. The group celebrated, marking the milestone of becoming yellow rank adventurers. Akira and the team discussed their training. They agreed that stronger enemies would help them level up faster in the future. Asahina considered their next challenge. No maze existed near Yamato country, and the previous quests no longer tested them. The group asked townspeople for leads about Akira, but their search yielded no useful information. They grew concerned. It became clear that Akira had not yet arrived in this country, leaving a gap between them and their ally. Asahina and the others realized Akira intended to stay in the town, making it the likely place to reunite. They discussed how to convince him to leave the country. Asahina pondered carefully, weighing the best way forward. Asahina decided it was time for the group to leave the country. They needed to pursue their next objective. He explained that Akira had not stayed behind. He likely advanced ahead. The team prepared themselves for the journey. The group agreed to move forward strategically, trusting that Akira would not lag and had already taken the lead. Akira's companions readied their equipment. Emilia and others adjusted for travel as they followed the planned route. They crossed the sea to Yamato country, avoiding pursuit while planning to confront the king's forces if necessary. The team found a port in Yamato country. They prepared to board a ship to travel to another continent. Suda was asked to assist with provisions and planning. He accepted, ready to contribute to the journey. Suda agreed to cook traditional food for the group, though seasoning was a challenge. He was confident in his skills. The team coordinated supplies and logistics. Everyone contributed, ensuring they were fully prepared for the voyage ahead. Akira's companions discussed their next destination. Tsukasa wanted to reach the continent of the Demon King as quickly as possible. The group inspected their damaged weapons. Akira decided they needed upgrades and improvements before continuing. They planned to find a city where equipment could be repaired and strengthened. Tamers focused on recruiting partners. Akira revealed he already had a specific location in mind, surprising the others and giving them direction. The team entered a massive glowing cavern. The environment was strange and foreboding, signaling a critical stage ahead. At the cavern's center, a mysterious magical circle appeared. The team prepared to engage with unknown challenges inside. Inside the glowing cavern, a figure approached the magical circle. Shadows stretched as they moved, signaling an ominous presence. A mysterious enemy revealed themselves, exulting in the chaos. They planned to run wild and destroy everything within the cavern. Akira led the group through a dense forest, with Yoru and the classmates following silently toward a distant swirling tree. Emilia walked beside Akira, her eyes scanning the path ahead. unaware of the dangers they might encounter along the journey. Akira focused on his goal, determined to fulfill Captain Saran's dying wish and reach level 100, no matter where it led. The companions understood that reaching level 100 was crucial to obtaining the legendary extra skill needed for the challenges ahead. Akira's mission intensified. He aimed to avenge Captain Saran, save Tsukasa, and confront the demon lord waiting at the castle. Akira closed his eyes, knowing he needed to become much stronger to survive the trials ahead. Amelia reflected on the legendary extra skill, realizing that reaching level 100 was an almost impossible feat. She decided to accompany Akira, trusting his determination and agreeing to support him throughout the journey. Yoru, the black cat familiar, suggested a destination, guiding Akira and Amelia as they traveled without a fixed plan. They looked over the land and identified their next goal, the continent of beasts. Brute, where danger awaited. Akira questioned why they headed to Brute, the Beastman continent, analyzing the risks and potential rewards. Yoru reminded him that many skilled blacksmiths among the Beastmen could inspect and improve his sword. Akira realized his sword's power was waning, and that he could no longer maintain it on his own. Amelia noticed movement nearby, signaling that other people were approaching, heightening the group's awareness and tension. The party looked ahead, seeing a cluster of figures just beyond the hill, preparing for what might be an imminent encounter. Elven scouts discovered a group of kidnappers capturing travelers, immediately alerting their allies. The elves charged forward on horseback, shouting commands and racing to rescue the captives before it was too late. Akira and Yoru prepared to join the battle, understanding the urgency and following the group's lead. The kidnappers struggled to silence the captives, but Akira's presence brought hope for their survival. In a swift counterattack, Akira and his allies struck the kidnappers, scattering them and rescuing the captives from harm. The elves and Akira's group launched a coordinated attack on the kidnappers, striking with swords and arrows. The kidnappers tried to fight back, but the combined forces of Akira, Amelia, and the elves overpowered them. Amelia was threatened directly, but Akira intervened swiftly, positioning himself between her and the enemy. Akira confronted the captor, forcing him to drop his weapon while maintaining control of the situation. The blue-class criminal guild Shark was challenged by Akira's bold counterattack, signaling their underestimation of his abilities. Akira struck the attackers with precise moves, sending multiple enemies sprawling to the ground. He flipped through the air, dodging weapons while countering every strike with his unmatched skill. Akira faced the guild leader directly, showing no fear and speaking with calm defiance. The attackers tried to regroup, but Akira's presence forced them into retreat, leaving the battlefield in his control. The pursuing elves and soldiers struggled to understand his sudden dominance, realizing Akira's extraordinary strength surpassed their expectations. Akira faced overwhelming numbers of blue-class attackers, dodging strikes while analyzing their formation. He realized he needed to intervene directly, lending support to allies struggling against the attackers. Using shadow magic, Akira ensnared multiple enemies simultaneously, gaining the upper hand in combat. The blue-class members attempted to counterattack, but Akira's speed and skill allowed him to evade all blows. His attack scattered the attackers, sending swords flying and disrupting their ranks, leaving them vulnerable to follow-up strikes. A blue-class attacker hurled a weapon toward Akira, aiming to strike him down unexpectedly. Amelia reacted instantly, raising her shield to protect herself from the flying weapon. Akira's eyes widened as he realized the imminent threat, preparing to counter with quick reflexes. The weapon shattered mid-air, narrowly missing Amelia, and leaving a trail of sparks in its path. Akira stood firm, his presence shielding his companion as the attackers regrouped, reassessing their strategy against him. After the battle, Akira, Amelia, and Yoru regrouped, realizing the attackers had escaped despite their efforts. Amelia thanked Akira for protecting her, showing relief that neither of them was hurt in the chaos. Yoru commented on Akira's skill, hinting that he could have handled the situation alone, leaving Akira slightly embarrassed. Akira noticed the emblem on a discarded object, recognizing it from somewhere, but struggling to recall its origin. He questioned Amelia about Graham, hoping she might remember its significance or provide a clue about their enemies. Amelia recalled the name Graham, prompting the group to consider the origins and connections of their enemies. Akira remembered seeing the emblem before while studying under Commander Saran, linking it to the country Uruk. The group confirmed their mission's success. The captured companions had been rescued, and the unconscious bandits secured. Akira decided that their current path would end here, signaling that they could not pursue the enemies further. The captured kidnappers were tied up, indicating their involvement in prior abductions and the king's warnings before departure. Akira instructed that the captured bandits and wounded allies be taken back safely, handing over important items for the journey. The elves hesitated, concerned that abandoning the mission midway would risk Amelia and Akira's safety. Akira reassured them, explaining that nothing had been abandoned, and the mission's priorities remained intact. He pointed toward the distant port town, explaining that they would take a boat to Brute, and thanked everyone for their assistance in escorting the group safely. Oda Akira and his companions approached the ship as night, his black cat familiar, scanned the horizon. The sea stretched endlessly. The vessel docked at port town Uruk, the only port in the Beastmen nation on the continent of Brute. Workers moved crates along the pier. Amelia looked around with wide eyes. Akira observed the town carefully. The bustling port was alive with unfamiliar architecture and foreign faces. Akira noticed that all manual laborers were humans. He felt unease, recalling his worries from the ship about potential dangers. A young boy reacted fearfully tonight. Akira recognized a silent hostility toward black cats among the people, hinting at hidden prejudice. Oda, Akira, and Knight walked through the crowd. The beastmen eyed them with clear distrust and suspicion. Akira noticed the hierarchy among the inhabitants. Humans appeared lower class, treated differently than the beastmen. A group of hostile men approached. They shouted at Akira and demanded he leave Amelia behind, showing open aggression. Akira's calm expression revealed no surprise. He had anticipated hostility, recognizing this as a recurring pattern. With a subtle motion, Akira activated shadow magic. The aggressors froze as he prepared to assert control and protect Amelia. Akira unleashed a sudden burst of shadow magic. The attackers shielded their eyes, unable to see, stumbling back in confusion. Amelia observed silently, confused by the sudden effect. Akira explained without words, revealing his control over the situation. Akira warned that lingering could bring further trouble. The situation had drawn too much attention and risked escalation. Amelia called out to him, but Akira shook his head. His focus remained on keeping them both safe. Turning from the chaos, Akira led Amelia through the city streets. They moved quietly, leaving the confused crowd behind as the port town faded in the distance. Akira and Amelia approached the Adventurers Guild. A young receptionist greeted them, asking if it was their first visit. Amelia confirmed, and Akira stepped forward silently. The pair prepared to submit their documents. The receptionist handed over a sealed envelope and a gold tag, marking the official adventurer registration. The young attendant explained that the envelope contained a letter of introduction for the guild. The guild master examined the documents carefully. Akira and Amelia watched as their credentials were verified, officially granting them entry into the guild. The guild master examined the letter of introduction. He recognized Amelia as the Rose Quartz princess, sent by the King of Elves. He expressed disbelief that the king had sent her alone, concerned for her safety in the human city. Akira clarified their situation. The guild master decided to guide them, showing them a private area for safety. The group followed closely as Mary, the receptionist, attended to drinks, ensuring they were comfortable. Seated in the private room, Akira and Amelia prepared for the guild's introductions, knowing this was only the beginning of their journey. Akira and Amelia formally introduced themselves to the guildmaster Ringa, clarifying their identities and purpose. The guildmaster confirmed they had come to register as adventurers and explained the requirements to operate officially. Akira expressed his goal to find someone capable of repairing his weapon, ensuring the guild understood his intentions. Ringa probed Akira about his origins, recognizing him as one of the heroes summoned from another world, which drew a subtle reaction. Akira remained calm, acknowledging the situation and noting he was not accustomed to bargaining. As the guild discussed recent events in Ritus, Akira explained that he was not a hero, only someone summoned from another world, traveling with companions. Ringa asked if he was the Dark Assassin. Akira questioned the nickname, unfamiliar with its meaning. The guildmaster explained that the assassin class was common, showing curiosity about Akira's abilities and background. Akira noted the imbalance, questioning why he alone should answer, and clarified that his class was assassin. Ringa reflected on Akira's response, realizing that despite being suited for combat, he was better at administrative tasks than battlefield work. Ringa noted that not everyone worked according to class. Akira and Amelia listened, acknowledging the flexibility in the land. Ringa shifted the conversation, asking Akira a more personal question about his black cat familiar. Knight. He explained that Knight was not an ordinary cat, showing keen interest in its abilities and nature. Akira responded cautiously, noting the people of this country detested black cats, a fact that influenced his travels. Ringa clarified the historical context behind the prejudice, warning Akira that this would affect their journey across the region. Ringa concluded the meeting, offering assistance if Akira and Amelia encountered trouble. The pair bowed in thanks. As they departed, Ringa reflected, noting the return of a past threat, the nightmare of Adoria. Amelia asked Akira for his thoughts on the guildmaster, curious about his intentions and skill. Akira recalled the guildmaster's non-interference extra skill, recognizing it as similar to his own presence concealment ability. He realized the skill allowed the guildmaster to operate subtly, explaining why he had gone unnoticed while taking the letter at the reception. Akira and Amelia walked through the quiet streets of Urk, the setting sun casting long shadows. Amelia noticed Akira's pause, asking what was wrong. He simply replied, "It's nothing," from a distance. Ringa watched them, noting silently that it was just a cat, though aware of its significance. The duo arrived at an inn for the night, greeted warmly by the staff who assured them of a comfortable stay. The innkeeper instructed them to wait briefly while they were guided to their rooms, ensuring hospitality and safety for the night. Akira and Amelia entered their inn room, relieved to rest on proper beds after days of travel. Amelia apologized for sharing a bed, but Akira reassured her, saying it was better together after their previous journey. Night, Akira's black cat familiar, offered to step outside for the night, sensing the mood between them. Night whispered about Master's world lessons, referencing subtle social cues, though Akira denied any impropriety. Finally, Akira and Amelia decided to leave the room to grab some food, stepping back into the city streets together. Amelia looked out at the city at night, thinking that if it were Akira, she wouldn't mind being close to him. After eating too much, Akira and Amelia lay on separate beds, exhausted and full from their meal. Akira reflected on how long it had been since he could truly relax, having lived under constant surveillance since being summoned. Night, his familiar offered to step outside, sensing the mood and giving them privacy for the night. Akira decided to leave the window open, knowing Yoru would return eventually, maintaining trust and vigilance even in rest. Amelia gazed out over the night city from the window, reflecting quietly on the day's events. She approached Akira, who was already asleep, and whispered softly, catching his attention gently. Amelia lay beside Akira, wishing him good night, feeling safe and close after their journey together. Morning arrived with sunlight filling the room. Akira stirred awake, greeted by night and the view of the bustling port town. Akira noticed Yoru, his other familiar, had returned. He and Amelia shared a quiet moment, ready to face the day ahead together. Akira woke to find Yoru returned. Amelia greeted him softly, still half asleep, creating a quiet morning scene. Night teased Akira about last night, stretching and commenting playfully, while he protested. Amelia explained that they needed to get dressed, mentioning a visitor would be arriving soon. A knock came at the door. Akira and Amelia prepared, anticipating who might be visiting them. A young attendant announced the guest. Akira nodded to let them in, ready to meet the unexpected visitor. A new guest arrived at the inn, Sir Crow, a master blacksmith, greeted by Akira and Amelia, with caution and respect. Night confirmed that Sir Crow was likely the world's best blacksmith, impressing Akira and Amelia with his reputation. Amelia learned that Sir Crow had previously been a member of the former hero's party, adding weight to his skills and experience. Akira and Amelia recalled the grandeur of the castle and the royal wedding preparations. Sensing the significance of current events, King Sophia appeared in a stained glass window scene, holding roses, marking the formal and ceremonial nature of the occasion ahead. Oda, Akira, and Amelia enter a workshop, surprised by the presence of a mysterious figure reputed to be the world's greatest blacksmith. The blacksmith studies Akira, carefully recognizing him as a member of the former hero's party, his expression calm but discerning. A black cat, known as Nightmare of Adoria, appears beside the blacksmith, acknowledging the unexpected summoning and the purpose behind it. The blacksmith entrusts Akira with a critical task, declaring him the only one capable of handling the master weapon, leaving the rest to their skill. Akira introduces himself and Amelia formally, establishing the beginning of a partnership that will shape their next journey. Kuro introduces himself to Akira, revealing he knows parts of Akira's past and has been tracking his reputation. He requests to see Akira's weapon, signaling the start of a careful examination of his skills and equipment. Kuro inspects the weapon, noting that while maintenance has been performed, it could still be improved for peak efficiency. He examines the damage from Akira's adventures in the labyrinth, observing how the weapon endured intense physical strain. Amelia looks on, impressed, as Kuro analyzes the weapon's performance against high-resistance foes, confirming Akira's experience and strength in past battles. Akira asks Kuro if he can repair the weapon. Kuro assures him, but warns that gathering the necessary materials will be difficult. Nightmare of Adoria explains that the team must collect money and resources, suggesting hunting monsters to fund the repair. Akira listens carefully as Kuro wraps the blade, considering the steps needed to restore it. Kuro returns items Akira doesn't need, focusing only on the blade itself, preparing for the repair process. He gives Akira a list of materials and instructions, instructing them to call him once everything is ready, leaving the team to begin the preparation. Ada door slams, catching Akira and Amelia's attention, signaling the start of a new action. Amelia moves purposefully through the doorway, leaving Akira and Nightmare of Adoria behind, her intent clear. Akira and the cat watch quietly as she closes the door, marking a brief separation. Nightmare asks Akira if he will follow Amelia, concerned about her intentions and safety. Akira decides to let Amelia act alone, instructing Yoru to stay by her side while he begins gathering the money and materials needed to repair Yatanokami. Akira prepares Yoru, giving the cat instructions to communicate with Amelia if anything goes wrong, even though they aren't telepathically linked. Amelia, moving quickly, asks Yoru to relay a message to Akira, requesting she try to return for dinner. She catches up to Kuro, calling out to him to ensure he notices her presence. Amelia questions Kuro about a comment Yoru made earlier, regarding his connection to the former hero's party. Kuro remains guarded but attentive, as Amelia expresses her desire to confirm the details of his past and his involvement with the previous heroes. Kuro explains the history of the former hero, who alongside human, elf, and beastman representatives, went to fight the demon lord. Amelia listens as he reveals only the hero and beastman returned. The mission ended in failure for the others. Kuro questions Amelia, asking if she bears a grudge against the elf representative who did not survive, noting her elf royalty status. Amelia clarifies that she does not hold a grudge, acknowledging that both the former hero and Kuro survived the battle. She apologizes for any offense, while showing respect for Kuro's strength, signaling mutual understanding and the start of trust between them. Amelia earnestly asks Kuro to teach her how to fight, showing her determination to grow stronger. Akira walks alone through the city streets, reflecting on how peaceful it is when he is by himself. He notices Amelia and Yoru attract attention wherever they go, contrasting with his own low profile. Akira approaches the adventurer's registration desk, asking how to register and start officially as an adventurer. A cheerful receptionist offers assistance, including dictation, but Akira politely declines, signaling his self-reliance and readiness to begin his own journey. Akira notices the receptionist. Meiru does not recognize him, reflecting on how little attention he receives despite past encounters with the guild. He observes that everything is in order, feeling unnoticed and blending in, contrasting with his extraordinary abilities and past experiences. Meiru presents Akira with a gray rank dog tag, signaling his start as a first-rank adventurer. She explains the ranking system, detailing the hierarchy from gold down to gray. The tag also serves as an identification, and Akira accepts it, ready to begin his official adventurer journey while keeping it safe. Akira asks Meiru how to enter the labyrinth, signaling his next step as an adventurer. Meiru explains the labyrinth in Uru City is restricted by rank, advising Akira to aim for yellow rank before entering. She warns that this labyrinth is more troublesome than others in Continent or the forest, highlighting its challenges. Akira analyzes the monsters, noting they are weak to physical attacks but lack obvious weaknesses, providing an opportunity to train flexible combat skills. Confident in his own abilities, Akira prepares to tackle the labyrinth, despite the risks that have overwhelmed many beginner adventurers. Meiru advises Akira to prove his skill by advancing to yellow rank before attempting the labyrinth, which he acknowledges. Akira reaches a quiet training area in the countryside, reflecting on the next steps and preparing mentally. Kuro begins practicing with a hammer, demonstrating his skill and power with precise, forceful strikes. Amelia watches silently, absorbing the method and intensity of Kuro's training. Kuro warns her about the difficulty and rigor of his guidance, emphasizing that many failed to continue, testing Amelia's determination to become his disciple. Amelia declares she is ready for training, acknowledging her silver rank but determined to improve under Kuro's guidance. Kuro warns her about the difficulty of his training, explaining that only the strong survive and many fail to continue. He reminds her that even the weak can tip the scales if they seize their chance. Referencing Akira's example, Amelia resolves to grow stronger, aiming to fight alongside Akira and follow his example, motivated to seize her opportunity and improve her skills. Akira Oda studies the map of Port Town Uru, noting key locations while tracking Kuro, Amelia, and surroundings carefully. The coastal town rests quietly at sunset, as Akira observes the area, confirming routes, exits, and possible hidden dangers nearby. Amelia waits near a tree while Kuro opens the door, and Akira approaches silently, watching both with cautious attention. Kuro and Amelia stand near the well, as Akira keeps distance, observing their interaction and assessing their intentions calmly. Amelia lowers her head and requests training, while Akira remains serious, considering her determination and the risks involved. Kuro rejects Amelia's request while drawing water, stating limits clearly, as Akira watches from distance without interfering in situation. Amelia remains calm and accepts the condition, while Kuro decides her training will require endurance beyond normal expectations and limits. Amelia waits outside the house, enduring hunger and time, staying determined despite discomfort as Akira silently observes her persistence nearby. Amelia suddenly weakens from hunger, surprising the cat, as her body struggles, while she continues trying to endure the test. Amelia receives a message about dinner, quickly reacting with relief, her focus shifting as the endurance test temporarily pauses. Akira Oda smiles calmly as Amelia and the cat react nervously behind him, sensing his presence after her exhausting effort. Akira questions Amelia's return timing, while she kneels weakly, acknowledging her mistake after pushing herself beyond her limits. Amelia apologizes repeatedly, her body trembling and numb, while the cat explains she hurried back despite her condition worsening. Akira ends the test, recognizing her limit, while the cat notes her legs cannot continue, and Amelia shows relief. Amelia steadies herself as Akira reflects silently, realizing he may have pushed her too far during the endurance trial. Akira reflects at night, thinking about Amelia and Yoru, feeling uneasy about their movements and the risks in the dark. Amelia struggles to stand as Akira warns her condition, while she accepts his strict guidance and tries to recover control. Amelia's legs fail from strain, her body shaking intensely as the pain sets in, revealing the harsh effect of training. Later, the house rests quietly at night as Amelia begins eating, recovering slowly from exhaustion and regaining some strength. Amelia enjoys the meal, while Akira watches calmly, focusing on future goals and planning to raise his rank quickly. Akira decides to focus on raising his rank, planning to prove his strength and reliability to the guild soon. During dinner, Akira allows Amelia and Yoru freedom, while reminding himself to return on time the following day. Amelia continues eating enthusiastically, while Akira watches quietly, noting her appetite and steady recovery after the previous ordeal. The next morning arrives, sunlight covering the town as a new day begins, signaling the start of Akira's plan. Amelia moves through the path with Yoru, regaining energy, as both head forward while Akira prepares for his next step. Kuro notices Amelia returning again, watching from inside, while she approaches steadily with Yoru, showing determination despite previous exhaustion. Kuro greets Amelia calmly, acknowledging her return, while she prepares herself, maintaining focus on her goal without hesitation. Amelia bows deeply and requests training again, while Yoru watches, and Kuro considers her persistence before deciding her next task. Kuro accepts indirectly, beginning another test, as Amelia remains kneeling, showing resolve while Yoru observes the ongoing situation. Amelia starts lifting water under Kuro's instruction, beginning practical training, while both Yoru and Amelia react to the task. Amelia struggles carrying food and water, confused by the task, trying to balance everything while maintaining focus on instructions. Kuro assigns her additional responsibility, telling Amelia to prepare dinner as part of her training while she continues working. Kuro listens calmly, allowing conversation during the meal, maintaining a composed attitude while observing Amelia's behavior and effort. Kuro leaves for the workshop, giving Amelia control of the kitchen, while she accepts the task and prepares herself. Amelia adjusts her outfit inside, preparing properly, focusing on her new responsibility as part of her ongoing training. Amelia hesitates in the kitchen, unsure what to do, while Yoru watches closely, questioning her ability to handle cooking. Yoru guides Amelia step by step, correcting her knife handling, ensuring she prepares ingredients properly without making dangerous mistakes. Amelia continues learning, washing vegetables as instructed, following each correction carefully, while Yoru supervises her actions closely. The cooking progresses as the pot simmers, and Amelia gains confidence, continuing preparation while managing multiple steps carefully. Amelia improves steadily under guidance, working at the stove while Yoru acknowledges her effort, recognizing her growing skill in cooking. Amelia continues cooking while calling Yoru, trying to understand him better, as he reacts quietly to her curiosity. Yoru sits on her head while Amelia asks about his connection with Kuro, seeking answers while continuing her task. Yoru begins explaining slowly, revealing that Kuro once gave him a title, while Amelia listens and continues preparing food. Yoru recalls destroying Adoria's capital long ago, showing the scale of his past actions and the reason behind his title. Yoru reveals he acted under the Demon Lord's command, exposing his past as a powerful being who once attacked Beastman territory. Yoru recalls losing control as his beast side emerged, his instincts overwhelming him while he rampaged without restraint. He remembers destroying the city and palace, causing far greater damage than intended, leaving the entire capital in ruins. After the destruction, Yoru looks over the remains, realizing the devastation went too far, as silence covers the ruined land. From that day forward, the beastmen began calling him the Nightmare of Adoria, marking him with a feared title. Later, a monument was built overlooking the ruins, standing as a reminder of the destruction and Yoru's past actions. Yoru visits the monument at the ruins, recalling the past, feeling uncertain as he observes the place quietly. He notices someone leaving flowers, wondering about the victims, then decides to leave, avoiding further thoughts about the tragedy. As Yoru turns away, a voice calls out, stopping him, making him realize someone has recognized his presence there. The man confronts Yoru directly, calling him the Nightmare of Adoria, revealing he knows Yoru's true identity and past. The man reveals his connection to Yoru from the Demon Lord's castle, showing familiarity and a shared history between them. Kuro appears holding flowers, identified as the escaped beastman, while Yoru reacts, realizing his past has caught up again. Akira Oda stands before a grave in silence, known as Adoria's nightmare, yet burdened by unresolved purpose within. A black cat watches closely, sensing Akira's past actions, questioning whether his violent path has truly reached its end. Akira kneels and places flowers carefully, recognizing death before him, while the cat observes with quiet, knowing awareness. The distance between them holds tension as the cat challenges Akira's presence, testing his intent within this solemn place. Akira reflects deeply, confronting lingering doubt as thoughts of his sister's death remain unresolved and separate from the cat's actions. Akira Oda clenches his fist, revealing his sister was killed by a beastman tied to royalty, deepening his anger. He recalls the disaster in Adoria, where chaos spread, and people desperately fled using ships and carriages. Akira remembers his sister running toward safety, believing one final step would have allowed her to escape. Before reaching safety, she was struck down violently, her body collapsing as hope vanished in that instant. Royal guards shouted and forced others aside, prioritizing nobles, leaving Akira's sister abandoned during the desperate evacuation. Akira's sister is cornered, mocked by beastmen, as they cruelly remind her that her brother serves heroes. In the present, Akira listens calmly, rejecting their claims, knowing royals failed their duty to protect innocent people. He reveals the truth of her death, crushed by collapsing ruins, far from him beyond any chance of rescue. Akira accepts the past without apology, acknowledging actions taken, while the black cat watches his resolve without interference. The cat recognizes Akira's path, naming his role clearly, as he rises, carrying grief while embracing his duty. Akira overlooks ruined Adoria, understanding the destruction, accepting war's nature, while silently carrying the weight of countless losses. The black cat's legend spreads, feared as a nightmare, its violent deeds remembered deeply among beastmen across generations. Akira sharpens his resolve, identifying the royal faction as responsible, focusing his vengeance on those tied to power. Time shifts as a young clerk handles requests nervously, showing a calmer environment far removed from past devastation. Akira works quietly, completing tasks efficiently, hiding his strength while maintaining a low rank and avoiding unnecessary attention. Akira reviews a difficult request, while the clerk explains the client's stubborn nature, surprised it was completed successfully. He recalls handling tedious tasks calmly, from shopping to physical labor, earning approval without complaint or resistance. Akira organizes multiple requests efficiently, combining tasks and completing them methodically without wasting effort or time. His actions remind him of his past life, balancing work and responsibilities, shaping his disciplined and practical approach. The clerk confirms his progress, as Akira quietly acknowledges his advancement, continuing to maintain a low and controlled profile. Akira receives a gold tag, completing promotion faster than expected, calmly accepting recognition without showing excitement or pride. He leaves the guild confidently, planning to enter the labyrinth, while requesting more tasks, maintaining his steady routine. The clerk watches him go, quietly acknowledging his reputation as someone who handles difficult tasks without hesitation. Akira arrives near the labyrinth entrance inside the city, observing the guarded structure and the guild's strong presence. As he approaches closer, Akira senses danger, recognizing something unusual and preparing himself cautiously for what lies ahead. Akira pauses before entering the labyrinth, deciding to eat first while planning to gather materials alongside earning money. Inside the labyrinth, chaos erupts as adventurers are suddenly attacked, losing control, while the situation quickly turns dangerous. Panic spreads among them as something approaches rapidly, their fear growing while they struggle to escape the incoming threat. The ground shatters violently, cracks spreading as immense force breaks through, signaling the arrival of a powerful creature. A massive monster emerges from the destruction, roaring fiercely as it charges forward, overwhelming the area with brutal strength. A massive monster roars on a shallow floor, shocking adventurers as they realize a high-level threat has appeared unexpectedly. Panic spreads as some flee, rushing to report the danger, while the creature continues advancing through the labyrinth. A cloaked figure watches calmly, amused by the chaos, stepping forward as others desperately try to escape. She positions herself confidently, guiding the monster's movement, treating the situation like a controlled pursuit toward the exit. Amelia prepared a quiet meal inside the house, placing bread, salad, and meat carefully while waiting for Akira. Amelia poured water calmly as Kuro sat nearby, recalling a story from 100 years ago with interest. Kuro remembered Kuro, noting he had not been seen again since that distant day in the past. Akira learned Kuro lived in Iru, surviving by working quietly as a blacksmith far from attention. In a workshop, Kuro forged weapons alone, known across regions as the most skilled blacksmith alive today. Akira prepared to travel with Amelia and Kuro, intending to visit Iru and have his sword repaired. Amelia reflected on Kuro, noting his appearance had barely changed since she last remembered him long ago. Amelia explained that beastmen lived longer than humans, though still not reaching the lifespan of elves. Akira listened as Amelia described how a beastman's appearance depends greatly on the amount of mana possessed. Akira understood that greater mana slowed aging, explaining why powerful beastmen maintained youthful appearances even after many years. Amelia recalled that past heroes possessed mana comparable to demons, concluding that Kuro was likely among them. Kuro confirmed Kuro held extraordinary mana, far beyond ordinary beings, making his existence far from normal. Kuro entered quietly, revealing himself as a beastman, while Akira and Amelia observed his unusual presence carefully. Kuro sat at the table, expressing gratitude for the meal, while Amelia and Kuro watched his calm behavior. Amelia noticed Kuro did not eat, realizing something was different about him. As Akira continued observing silently, Amelia hesitated before eating, then decided to try the food, following Kuro's presence and the quiet atmosphere. Amelia tasted the meal and reacted with surprise, while Akira observed her, noting she had not eaten it before. Kuro agreed to listen, and the group sat together as the discussion began under a calm setting. Kuro focused on Akira, recognizing his identity and showing interest in the man who traveled with Amelia. Kuro revealed Akira's significance, indicating he was not ordinary, and hinting at his connection to Adoria's feared figure. Kuro declared a new name, Yoru, distancing himself from the past while calmly continuing to eat at the table. Amelia reacted lightly to the moment, while Akira remained quiet, observing the interaction between Yoru and the group. Kuro questioned Amelia's reason for seeking strength, recalling her desire to fight alongside a certain man. Kuro turned his attention to Akira, demanding information about him while Amelia listened closely beside them. Amelia calmly finished her meal, maintaining composure as the discussion grew more serious and focused on Akira. Amelia quietly cleaned the dishes while Kuro assisted, creating a calmer atmosphere after their earlier discussion at the table. Amelia approached Kuro, calling to him as she prepared herself to ask something more personal and important. Kuro agreed to listen, and Amelia stood before him, requesting additional information in exchange for her help. Kuro mentioned Akira's past, bringing up his younger sister, which caused the mood to shift into seriousness. Amelia asked about revenge, while Akira revealed it was not yet fulfilled, leaving tension between them unresolved. Akira revealed the truth, stating the man who killed his sister still lived as the king's nephew. Amelia reacted with confusion and concern, questioning why Akira had not acted, despite swearing revenge before. Akira admitted his desire for revenge, but believed his sister would not have wanted such actions from him. Amelia disagreed firmly, insisting she would have chosen revenge herself, challenging Akira's restraint and beliefs. Akira's emotions surged, his presence turning intense as he confronted Amelia, forcing her to reconsider his true nature. Akira and Amelia faced each other in silence, the tension rising as Kuro observed their expressions carefully. Akira noticed something unusual in Amelia's eyes, realizing she possessed a hidden ability beyond normal perception. Amelia avoided explaining her power, only hinting she could see something Akira could not yet understand. Amelia advised Akira to stop using his sister as justification, urging him to face his own choices directly. The conversation ended quietly, with Akira remaining seated while Amelia dismissed them, leaving the tension unresolved. Amelia bowed politely as Akira and Kuro left, while the quiet house returned to stillness after their tense conversation. Walking outside, Kuro asked about Amelia, and Akira responded calmly, showing no visible frustration from earlier events. Amelia reflected on Akira, believing advice would not reach him, and recognizing his current state could not be changed easily. Amelia continued walking with Yoru, concluding Akira needed time, while Yoru acknowledged her understanding of his true nature. Suddenly, Amelia sensed something unusual, stopping as a strange presence appeared, causing both her and Yoru to react. Amelia sensed a disturbance from the labyrinth, realizing the source of the strange presence was approaching rapidly. Akira moved instantly through the city, pushing past obstacles as his instincts reacted to the incoming danger. Akira understood his danger sense had activated, confirming that something unusual and threatening was drawing closer. A massive surge erupted from the labyrinth gates as Akira, Amelia, and Yoru realized a powerful force was emerging. Oda Akira and his team entered a narrow corridor, unaware of the danger approaching. Suddenly, a trap triggered, sending a massive object crashing toward them. The group turned to see monsters emerging from the deeper dungeon levels. Amelia and the other classmates struggled to maintain formation as fear spread. Rocks and debris exploded around them as the monsters advanced, forcing everyone to take cover. The dungeon seemed to collapse with every step of the creatures. A giant, armored beast rose from the wreckage, its roar shaking the walls. The team froze, recognizing the imminent threat. Akira led the group to flee. Everyone sprinted down the corridor as the massive creature crashed after them, leaving destruction in its wake. The giant beast chased Oda Akira and his team outside the dungeon. They reached the castle walls, but the creature continued its relentless pursuit. From the shadows, more monsters emerged, combining forms of different beasts. The team struggled to defend against the sudden swarm. Soldiers tried to hold the monsters at the castle gates. Akira realized reinforcements were needed, but the horde kept advancing. Civilians panicked as the monsters broke through defenses. The team urged everyone to flee to safety. The monstrous army multiplied rapidly, signaling the return of a calamity from a century ago. Akira braced for the chaos to come. Oda Akira's team faced a massive horned monster barreling toward them. The creatures swarmed the castle entrance, cutting off their path. Akira leapt into the fray, striking at a vicious beast. His skill and precision held the advancing monsters back for a moment. Yoru, Akira's shadowy companion, acted quickly to protect civilians. The team relied on his speed and sharp instincts to survive. Amelia coordinated evacuations while dodging monsters. She guided citizens to safety, ensuring no one was left behind amidst the chaos. Akira took a defensive stance near the dungeon entrance. He promised to keep the monsters contained while Amelia safely evacuated the city. Oda Akira and Yoru encountered a new adventurer outside the city. They quickly assessed the situation as monsters overran the streets. The adventurer warned that defenses were failing and that an emergency summons had been issued for high-ranking adventurers. Akira learned the summons was for a red-rank adventurer above yellow. He realized the scale of the threat was massive. Akira and the adventurer raced to join the organized squads. They prepared to split forces for the large-scale battle from above. The city was overrun, chaos spreading as citizens fled. The raid had begun, signaling a desperate fight for survival. Citizens struggled to escape as exhaustion set in. One elder stumbled, unable to continue fleeing from the chaos. He begged to be left behind, overwhelmed by fear, while his companions refused to abandon him. The group hesitated, paralyzed by the monstrous horde closing in. Panic surged as danger loomed closer. Amelia swooped down, arriving just in time to aid the struggling citizens. Her presence inspired hope. She reassured the group, helping them escape safely. Akira and Yoru prepared to continue holding back the advancing monsters. Citizens froze in terror as a massive black cat appeared. Its presence radiated power, and fear gripped everyone nearby. Yoru, a mysterious black cat with a third eye, revealed itself as the legendary nightmare of Adoria. Amelia and the citizens watched in disbelief as Yoru prepared to intervene. The city's panic intensified. Yoru demanded to be called by its true name, ignoring the terrified cries around it. Amelia held on tightly as Yoru swept through the city, rescuing the citizens from the advancing monsters and chaos. Citizens evacuated under the protection of gray and blue rank adventurers. Akira and Yoru observed the operation from the city walls. The guild instructed all adventurers to pair up for safety, emphasizing coordination and strict orders to never act alone. Akira initially preferred working alone, valuing independence, but a nearby adventurer suggested they pair up to handle the growing threat. Akira agreed reluctantly, forming a team with Sina, the guildmaster's younger brother, ready to coordinate their actions in the raid. The pair prepared to face the advancing monsters, mentally reviewing the situation and potential dangers while trusting each other's skills. Akira and Sina confirmed their groups were ready. Each adventurer prepared for the coming battle, knowing the stakes were high. Orders had been sent to surrounding cities and the capital, but reinforcements would take time to arrive. The guildmaster emphasized that only the adventurers present could protect the city from total destruction. Citizens relied entirely on their skills. Monsters approached, and Akira's team spotted strange demonic forces, signaling a more sinister threat beyond the labyrinth monsters. Akira considered the possibility that the monsters were being controlled by demons. He knew careful strategy was essential to survive the raid. Sina reminded Akira of his position in the raid, assigning roles and confirming strategy. Both understood the urgency. Akira was directed to join the Red Squad and support the front lines, leaving the Silver Squad for other tasks. Sina reassured the group that Akira could handle the mission, despite being a yellow-rank adventurer on the dangerous front lines. Akira accepted the orders without hesitation, trusting the plan and ready to execute his role effectively. The pair ran together toward the battlefield, prepared to confront the monsters and demons threatening the city. Amelia raised her hand, unleashing a powerful magical strike that shattered the dark energy gathering in the city square. Kyusuk faced approaching beasts, summoning a blazing dragon-shaped fist, throwing it with precision to stop the monster's advance. The creatures surged forward relentlessly, but Kyusuke maintained focus, preparing for a stronger technique to prevent further destruction. He released a massive wave of flames, engulfing the creatures and forcing them back, clearing the area of immediate threats. Akira appeared from the shadows, silently eliminating a remaining enemy with a precise strike, earning approval from his companions. Akira examined his dagger carefully, noting the chip forming along the blade, aware it might fail before Yado no Kami could be repaired. Kyusuke and Amelia spotted a wounded ally nearby. They decided to move him to safety, while Akira prepared to defend them. Akira borrowed a longsword from a nearby warrior, inspecting it quickly. He ensured it was reliable before facing the approaching monsters. He promised to return the sword, and stepped forward, ready to confront the threat while his companions secured the wounded. A massive creature charged at Akira, but he stood firm, prepared to strike with precise timing, protecting the group efficiently. Akira acted alone, striking with a precise swing that split the enemy creatures in two, demonstrating his skill with the blade. He observed a monster's record, noting its name and peculiar traits, reflecting on the irony of the encounter. Gathering claws and fangs, Akira planned to use them to repair Yado no Kami, avoiding the dangers of the dungeon. Enemies swarmed from above, but Akira moved swiftly, dodging and countering their attacks with calculated precision. Amelia joined the battle, wrapping her enemies in shadow magic to restrain them, giving Akira space to finish the fight. Akira paused, scanning the horizon carefully, detecting the distant movement of countless flying monsters approaching the area. Amelia noticed his alertness and ran over, asking what was wrong. As Akira remained calm and observant, Akira revealed he had consumed the monsters using his shadow magic, preventing them from attacking or threatening the group. Kyusuke laughed, calling Akira funny, while Amelia shook his head in disbelief at his unconventional yet effective technique. Akira and Amelia prepared to move toward the west side, ready to confront the Earthrock dragon threatening the city. Lady Amelia, riding Yoru, ensured all civilians were safely evacuated while surveying the streets for remaining threats. Amelia spotted the monster approaching and quickly instructed Yoru to bring the people to safety first, prioritizing their protection. She decided to stay behind, knowing no other adventurers were present, buying time for the fleeing civilians. A massive monster appeared nearby, forcing Amelia and Yoru to brace for combat while continuing to defend the city. The group assessed the surroundings, deciding the area was safe, but noted other dangers, like an Earthrock dragon on the west side. Akira and Amelia prepared to move toward the west side, ready to confront the Earthrock dragon threatening the city. Lady Amelia, riding Yoru, ensured all civilians were safely evacuated while surveying the streets for remaining threats. Amelia spotted the monster approaching and quickly instructed Yoru to bring the people to safety first, prioritizing their protection. She decided to stay behind, knowing no other adventurers were present, buying time for the fleeing civilians. A massive monster appeared nearby, forcing Amelia and Yoru to brace for combat while continuing to defend the city. Amelia raised her hands and urged the civilians to move quickly, assuring them she could handle the threat while they escaped. Using her magic, she cast a gravity spell, forcing the approaching creatures downward, slowing their advance toward the fleeing townspeople. A massive crash followed as the monsters collided with debris, giving Amelia a brief moment to regain her stance. Surveying the area, Amelia analyzed the situation, noting the movements of the remaining monsters and preparing for her next action. From above, Akira arrived on a strange monster, observing the battlefield silently and positioning himself strategically for an imminent attack. Amelia noticed a familiar spell in the air, bringing back memories from a past encounter. Her expression mixed with curiosity and concern. Akira confronted her, revealing he recognized her as the elf princess from a prior time, creating tension and surprise. The mysterious figure, Ollum, laughed, recalling a past event, and expressing gratitude toward Amelia's sister for aiding him before. Amelia questioned Ollum's nature, suspecting he might be a demon due to his casual demeanor and cryptic behavior. Ollum waved confidently from atop his strange mount, introducing himself formally as Ollum Trez, and demanding Amelia remember his name. Ollum explained the demon lord was approaching and that he would personally handle the threat, urging Amelia to focus on survival. He encouraged her to do her best while he took charge, leaving her to defend the civilians and herself. Amelia realized the danger, sweating as Ollum warned that she would not be able to protect Akira if she failed. She activated her revival magic and gravity spell, preparing to confront the incoming assault with full force. The spell hit Amelia violently, and she was impaled by debris, showing the immense risk of facing such powerful attacks. Akira noticed the aftermath of Ollum's attack, and saw Amelia gravely injured, her body pierced by debris, leaving him shocked and alarmed. Yoru screamed, alerting Akira that Lady Amelia had been kidnapped, escalating the danger and leaving the group with a new urgent mission. Yoru discovered that Lady Amelia had been kidnapped. Panic surged through him as he scanned the area for any signs of the assailant. Amid the chaos, Saran noticed the threat and tried to intercept, but the kidnapper vanished into the shadows, leaving the streets empty. Akira sprinted forward with determination, chasing after the mysterious figure carrying Amelia. His eyes were fixed on saving her, no matter the cost. Yoru followed closely, matching Akira's speed, ensuring that no enemy could escape their pursuit. Finally, Akira confronted the aftermath, realizing the danger Amelia faced and preparing to rescue her from the unknown captor. Akira realized Lady Amelia had stayed behind alone to distract the monsters, allowing the townspeople to evacuate safely. He reached out with his senses, feeling her mana nearby. At the scene, Akira and Yoru discovered blood, unmistakably belonging to Amelia. Concern filled their hearts as they tried to understand what had happened. Yoru sniffed the air, detecting another mana presence. Though unfamiliar, it was distinct from Amelia's, indicating a new threat was near. Akira identified the enemy as Ollum Trez, a demon ranked as the third strongest, signaling the grave danger Amelia faced. He turned to Yoru, asking if they could follow the demon's scent, determined to rescue Amelia before it was too late. Akira ignored warnings from Yoru about his current strength. He was determined to chase Ollum Trez and save Amelia. Yoru analyzed the lingering scent, noting Ollum's mana was weak, but Akira's shadow magic made tracking dangerous as bloodlust surged around him. Yoru transformed into a three-headed Cerberus, preparing to confront the enemies while enhancing their tracking capabilities. Together, Akira and Yoru scanned the city from above, following the scent trail toward the demon's path. Their pursuit led them to the dungeon entrance, where destruction indicated the intensity of Ollum Trez's presence and the imminent confrontation to rescue Amelia. Akira observed the monsters emerging from the labyrinth and wondered if Ollum Trez was orchestrating the chaos under the demon lord's orders. Yoru apologized to Akira for the risk of using his full strength, acknowledging the danger it posed during the chase. Yoru explained he took the Cerberus form to track the scent more efficiently, though it made him uncontrollable, unable to follow complex orders. Akira mounted Yoru, ready to fly through the city at high speed, determined to locate Ollum Trez. From above, they saw the destruction and chaos caused by the monsters, reinforcing the urgency to find Ollum and save Amelia before it was too late. Saran and the other knights noticed Akira had vanished from the battlefield, wondering where he went and what plans he had. They realized the monsters were retreating back toward the dungeon, hinting at a larger strategy unfolding under the demon's influence. One of the knights pointed toward the dungeon, noticing movement in the air and the direction Akira might have taken. Flocks of flying monsters gathered above the dungeon, preparing for a massive assault or defense. The swarm stretched far east of the dungeon, signaling that Akira and Yoru would face a daunting challenge to reach Ollum Trez. The trail of monsters stretched across the city, their movement leaving destruction in their wake. Akira's resolve hardened as he prepared to confront them. Flying monsters swarmed around Yoru and Akira. The pair moved with precision, Yoru's Cerberus form tearing through enemies while Akira pushed forward. Akira shouted at the monsters, forcing them aside as he made his way closer to the dungeon, determined to reach Ollum Trez. Yoru's transformation sparked unexpectedly, the strain of maintaining the Cerberus form, threatening his stability as they fought onward. With wings spread, Yoru guided Akira through the air, evading attacks and continuing the pursuit toward the dungeon where Amelia awaited, and the final confrontation loomed. Yoru sensed that Akira's anger had interfered with his shadow magic, disrupting his transformation, but prioritized the mission over the mishap. From above, Akira and Yoru observed the monster's path and realized the assault was a trap laid for them. Despite the danger, Akira resolved to push forward, determined to crush whatever obstacle awaited him to save Emilia. He called out Emilia's name, spurring his determination as he approached the source of the chaos. Ahead, the monstrous creatures guarding the dungeon's entrance loomed, signaling the imminent confrontation between Akira, Yoru, and the demonic forces. Akira descended toward the dungeon, preparing to strike at the monsters threatening the city. Yoru watched in alarm as Akira's trajectory intersected with a massive creature, bracing for impact. Akira launched himself directly into the beast's maw, demonstrating his resolve and fearless determination. He reflected on Captain Saran's warnings about shadow magic, acknowledging its risks, but determined to use it for the greater good. Akira unleashed Shadow Hell, a powerful spell, to protect the city and ensure that no one would be lost again in the chaos. Akira struck the massive monster with full force, sending shockwaves through the city streets. The impact caused debris to scatter and monsters to fall, while Yoru watched anxiously from above. Suddenly, Akira staggered, his mana completely depleted, leaving him vulnerable mid-air. Yoru cried out in alarm as Akira plummeted toward the ground, the fate of both the battle and Emilia hanging in the balance. Akira Oda wandered through a massive abandoned tower, confused and disoriented. He noticed Emilia lying unconscious, her face pale. As he questioned where he had arrived, Emilia's memories flickered. She recalled her final battle and the moment she had been mortally wounded. Her life was slipping away as the truth of her dying state became clear. With determination, Emilia cast revival on herself. A blinding light surrounded her, restoring her vitality despite the immense strain on her body. Akira watched as Emilia awakened, her eyes opening to the world once more, breathing steadily. Emilia struggled to move, her strength drained from the spell. Akira reassured her it would take a few days to recover from the mana drought, ensuring she rested safely. Emilia recalled her past battles in the forest dungeon. She realized enemies had studied her thoroughly, predicting her actions long ago. Akira observed her incapacitated on the ground. He suspected this state was all part of Alem's carefully orchestrated plan. Emilia struggled, but Akira guided her gently. They began descending the massive labyrinth, heading toward a magic circle at the depths meant for Olem's superior, the second-ranked demon. Emilia noted the immense challenge to reach the bottom floor. She recognized someone even more powerful than Olem awaited them. Akira deduced the second demon was a magic circle expert, capable of teleporting vast distances, signaling the arrival of a formidable enemy from the demon continent. Akira and Emilia rested, taking time to speak. Emilia asked about Akira's little sister, and he began sharing his memories. Akira reflected that his sister was strong but physically fragile, a truth he had only recently noticed. He explained that Kirika, his sister, always protected her comrades in battle, despite being an elf who normally relied on long-range attacks, and her courage made her stand out. Akira realized Kirika had bottled up her feelings and become fragile from jealousy, pushing herself past her limits. Through their reflection, Akira and Emilia discovered Kirika's vulnerability, understanding the pain behind her strength. Emilia admitted she had felt jealousy deep inside herself. She could not release her emotions as freely as her sister, Kirika, who could express everything openly. Akira revealed that he, too, had a little sister. He confessed that he felt weak and fragile compared to her, mirroring Emilia's earlier reflection. Akira shared his admiration for Lune, describing her as the best of all demunkand at controlling monsters, and expressing how much he loved her. He explained that Lune's expressions were fickle and often ignored him, leaving him feeling isolated. Akira endured his sadness silently, believing Lune was tired of him. He left her alone to cope, hiding his true feelings, while understanding the vulnerability of those he cared about. Akira shared how surprised he was when Lune stayed by his side, despite thinking she hated him. He recalled the shock and joy of seeing her care so closely. He remembered when Lune told him she had never said she hated him, and how her cuteness in that moment left a lasting impression. Emilia reflected that demons seemed alien to human emotions, but Akira had someone he loved and who loved him in return. She wondered if all demons could feel or smile the way Akira's loved ones did, questioning their emotional capacity. Akira explained that neither the Demon Lord nor Silas, number 4, smiled often, even among demons. Expressions of joy and affection were rare. Emilia observed Akira's storytelling, noting how freely he shared information. She realized some demons smiled often, like Mahiro, while others rarely showed emotion. Emilia reflected that confidence, not intelligence, often made others careless, assuming Akira would not return. She considered how fully confident his enemies were, believing they could prevent him from returning safely. Emilia decided it was time to increase their pace, Recognizing the urgency of the labyrinth's dangers, she guided Akira through the maze, explaining that their companions were still days behind, and warned how disorienting the labyrinth's lack of sunlight and time awareness could be. Akira awoke abruptly, calling out for Amelia. He struggled to move, feeling drained and disoriented. Amelia warned him not to move yet, explaining he had to conserve his strength. She instructed him to rest until his mana fully returned to his body, emphasizing the importance of recovery. Akira remembered using all the shadow magic he could muster, realizing he had exhausted his energy completely. Amelia revealed that she had carried him all the way to safety, ensuring he survived, despite running completely dry of mana. Akira sat up, reflecting on recent events, while his black familiar observed silently. The familiar noted that Akira's mana had surpassed its limit, signaling exhaustion from overusing his shadow magic. It worried his life might be in danger and considered activating shadow magic to protect him. The familiar shifted into healing mode, stopping shadow magic and granting Akira the necessary mana from its reserves, completing his recovery. Akira was told to focus on eating and resting, as others watched silently, ensuring he regained full strength before continuing their journey. Akira was shocked to learn that he had recovered so quickly from mana exhaustion in just 3 days. His familiar informed him that it had been 3 days since he had been in a coma, highlighting the severity of his prior condition. He was advised to rest further if he wanted any chance of saving Princess Amelia, as his body was still far from full strength. The companion reminded him that his exploits had made him famous across Uru, earning him the name Silent Assassin. Akira reflected on his recent feats. A yellow-rank adventurer had eradicated monsters pouring from the dungeon, including a formidable rock dragon, showcasing his growing skill and reputation. Akira reacted nervously to his nickname, Silent Assassin, feeling uneasy about his fame and notoriety. He noticed a sword that had been given to his companion, recalling that it was a weapon he had once borrowed. The companion explained that the sword had been forged by him, and was returned after someone found it, showing care and attention to its origin. He handed the sword to Akira, asking him to express gratitude to its original owner, emphasizing respect and proper acknowledgement. Akira stared in surprise at the sword, realizing the importance and history behind the gift he had just received. Akira was informed that the sword he had asked to repair, Yatano Kami, was finished while he had been sleeping. He discovered the sword had split into 2 pieces, realizing he had been reckless with it before. His companions noted that short swords suited Akira better anyway, given his assassin role, easing his concern about the damage. Akira raised one of the repaired short swords, feeling its balance and quality in his hand. He examined the 2 jet black short swords, noticing their flawless construction from hilt to tip, ready for use in his upcoming battles. Akira's companion handed him a ring, instructing him to take it as well. Akira examined the ring, noticing an inscription in English, "I'll lead you everywhere," which surprised him. He explained that the words were from his world, not the land where he was born, and confirmed he could read them. The familiar revealed the ring belonged to a past hero and had the power to guide its user to any desired location. Akira realized that the ring could locate anything, including people, expanding its usefulness beyond objects. The familiar gasped as Akira realized the ring could guide them to Lady Amelia, revealing its potential to find people, not just treasures. Akira stood silently atop the building under the crescent moon, surveying the empty streets. The city lay in quiet tension. Beside him, Knight the cat familiar crouched, eyes scanning. Akira adjusted his cloak, preparing for the descent into danger. Using the magical ring, Akira pinpointed their target's location. The signal confirmed she had been taken into the dungeon below. From the rooftop, Akira observed the courtyard. Shadows of guards moved, unaware of his presence, while he planned his infiltration carefully. Later, in the guild hall, Akira silently considered the name whispered among adventurers, the Silent Assassin, while eating, masking his true identity. Akira sat quietly in his room, eating while thinking about Guildmaster Ringa. Something about him felt off. He remembered Ringa's warning before the raid, urging them not to let demons stain the city. Akira realized the demons had appeared with Olam and kidnapped Amelia. The timing was suspicious and precise. He considered Ringa and his brother Senna, questioning whether their actions during the raid were truly innocent. Akira traced the battle's orchestration, noting Amelia's efforts evacuating the suburbs, while the city fell into chaos. Akira considered the possibility that Ringa and Senna might be secretly working with the demons. He needed answers. He decided to keep his actions hidden from the guild, moving carefully and watching for any suspicious behavior. Activating his stealth ability, Akira and Knight descended from the rooftops, unseen by guards and citizens below. The pair landed silently in the streets, moving quickly through shadows, avoiding detection while approaching their target. Ahead, guards investigated a sound, but it was only Knight's meow. Akira remained hidden, continuing the silent pursuit. Akira approached the dungeon gates, shadows stretching across the broken iron bars. The entrance loomed ominously. He and Knight stepped over rubble and debris, moving cautiously, aware of traps and hidden threats. Akira scanned the ruined courtyard, ensuring the path was clear, the glow of his torch illuminating obstacles. Inside, he paused briefly, signaling to Knight. Together they confirmed they had entered safely, ready for the unknown. Suddenly, a figure attacked from the shadows. Akira reacted instantly, drawing his weapon as danger erupted around him. Akira faced a cloaked figure in the dungeon. Knight hissed, sensing immediate danger. He noticed the voice belonged to a woman. Her presence was unexpected and suspicious. Recognition struck Akira. He realized she had been glaring at the heroes during the parade in Riitis. The woman pleaded to join him, requesting trust despite her past. Akira hesitated, weighing the risk. Knight growled, refusing to trust her. Akira paused, knowing they needed to act carefully, but the situation demanded quick decisions. The cloaked woman revealed herself as Leah Lagoon, the first princess of Urk, the largest beastmen nation. Akira and Knight were stunned, realizing the importance of the figure before them. They questioned why a princess would be in the ruined dungeon, a place filled with danger. Leah explained her mission. She wanted to speak with elven Princess Amelia, seeking critical information. Before words could continue, Akira instinctively attacked, moving with precision to protect against a possible threat. Akira pressed his sword against Leah, demanding to know how she knew Amelia was in the dungeon. Leah struggled, explaining that she could only protect herself and acted to warn him of Amelia's danger. Akira's tone hardened. He threatened her life, emphasizing that her answer would determine whether she lived. Leah admitted weakness, but stressed that her intention was to save Princess Amelia, not to deceive him. Akira's gaze sharpened. He demanded once more, insisting on the truth about how she knew Amelia's location. Akira demanded to know why Leah hadn't followed them into the dungeon. She explained that her skill, boosted olfaction, allowed her to track Amelia's scent, though she lost it in the labyrinth. Akira confirmed her honesty, noting that her explanation aligned with her abilities. Examining her stats, he observed her royal grace skill, realizing something unusual about her claimed royalty. He deduced that her skill history didn't match Amelia's status. Leah may not have been born of royalty, despite her claim. Akira stood silently, evaluating Leah. He released his sword slightly but kept his guard. He instructed Knight to let Leah ride on him, acknowledging the urgency, despite mistrust. Though he knew Leah hadn't lied, Akira remained cautious, refusing to fully trust her yet. Time pressed, and he realized they had no choice but to move with her, questioning her intentions as they went. Akira asked if she was prepared for the journey, setting the stage for the alliance, despite lingering doubts. Leah insisted she needed to reach Lady Amelia, declaring her intent to join Akira. Akira acknowledged her urgency, signaling Knight to carry her as they prepared to move. He warned her to hold tight, keeping caution while navigating the dungeon's hazards. Flying over the city, Akira noted the unusual structure of the brute dungeon, questioning Leah's familiarity with it. Leah admitted only partial knowledge, revealing she knew a little about the layout but had never explored it fully. Leah explained the dungeon's structure, boss rooms every 10 floors, vertical drops, and bridges in every direction. She warned that dead ends and complex routes made it easy to get lost, creating danger for unwary adventurers. Akira asked if they could jump to lower bridges, but Knight noted that many rookie adventurers underestimated the risk. Flying monsters made direct descent dangerous, complicating navigation and forcing careful strategy. Akira observed and processed the information, preparing for obstacles ahead, as enemies appeared in the dungeon. Akira warned that anyone underestimating the dungeon's dangers would be eaten immediately, stressing the high stakes. He noted the dungeon's bizarre layout and the presence of many types of monsters, designed to test adaptability. Knight reassured Akira, swearing loyalty and readiness to face the dangers together. Akira prepared to push forward, encouraging swift movement through the treacherous dungeon. They raced through the vertical labyrinth, navigating flying monsters and deadly drops, determined to reach Princess Amelia without delay. Oda Akira soared through the city on his flying familiar, Yoru maneuvering past towering spires. Shadows twisted beneath them as they descended rapidly. The wind howled around them. Akira and Yoru avoided smaller threats, aiming straight for the bottom where greater dangers awaited. Akira revealed Yoru to be his loyal companion. Calm and composed, he introduced himself and prepared for the challenges ahead. He listened intently to Leah, promising to protect her. Yoru stayed close, ready to act at any moment. Leah realized the demons pursued her. Akira focused, planning how to inform Lady Amelia while keeping her safe. Leah recognized Lady Amelia's extra skill, revival magic. Relief mixed with concern as the danger became clearer. The group descended deeper into the dungeon. Akira sensed another scent, unfamiliar and threatening, drawing their attention. He realized that another scent accompanied Amelia, distinct from hers. Akira stayed alert, ready to protect her. The source of the scent was revealed, a demon named Ollum Tress. Akira prepared strategies to confront this new enemy. Laya tensed, fearing she had failed again. Yoru reassured her as Akira sped toward the demon, determined to arrive in time. Akira and Yoru flew through the dungeon, questioning why demons targeted Lady Amelia's skill. Tension grew as the threat became clearer. Akira analyzed the monster attack. He suspected the Demon Lord had made a decisive move against humanity. Yoru explained that the Demon Lord's intentions were unclear. Akira stayed alert, preparing for every possible scenario. The demons sought revenge against other races exiled to the volcanic continent. Their motive reflected centuries of grudge. Akira reflected on the endless cycle of war. Yoru confirmed the peril, leaving them wary yet determined to protect Amelia. Akira and Yoru learned of a demon lord who sought peace through a treaty, unusual among demonkind. The demon lord loved his family and wished harmony with humans, elves, and beastmen, working toward coexistence. Just as the peace treaty was nearly signed, a power-hungry beastman obsessed with heroism interfered violently. The beastman killed the demon lord's beloved wife, shattering hope for reconciliation and igniting a new wave of chaos. Enraged, the demon lord withdrew from negotiations and destroyed 2 beastman cities, demonstrating the cost of betrayal and war. Akira reflected on Yoru's words. Demons being evil was only one perspective. He considered the broader history of conflicts. Leah was shocked to learn about the horrors that had occurred. Akira reassured her while keeping focus on their mission. Yoru explained the history of the beastmen and the betrayal they suffered, shaping their distrust and caution. The peace treaty the demon lord attempted was revealed as a trap, designed to manipulate trust for gain. The betrayal cost 2 cities. Akira realized the stakes were higher than expected, strengthening his resolve to protect Amelia. Akira pondered the conflicting accounts of history. He realized that both memories and records could be manipulated by time, power, and purpose. He decided that he needed to witness events with his own eyes to discern the truth accurately. Flying through the massive dungeon, Akira stayed focused, determined to uncover the reality behind the chaos surrounding Lady Amelia. Yoru promised to remember the story, preserving the knowledge and context as they moved closer to the source. Akira learned that Amelia had been kidnapped, possibly under orders from the Demon Lord, increasing the urgency to act. Akira declared he would not forgive those responsible, determination hardening in his eyes. Yoru acknowledged his resolve. Flying through the dungeon, they spotted the boss floor below. Leah gasped at the looming challenge. Akira explained that advancing required confronting the boss. They prepared to descend while staying alert. The boss appeared suddenly. Akira used shadow magic while Yoru and Leah maneuvered, narrowly avoiding the attack. After the confrontation, Akira urged haste. They were now on floor 97, pressing onward to save Amelia. The dungeon changed after the 80th floor. Akira, Yoru, and Laya sensed an increase in danger and intensity. Laya noticed Lady Amelia's scent growing stronger. Yoru confirmed that they were very close, heightening their urgency. Akira's power was recognized by the enemies. His speed and skill had allowed them to defeat bosses almost instantly. Akira revealed he had been summoned by accident as an assassin, not intentionally as a hero. Leah was surprised. He recalled glaring at the hero during the parade, hinting at his mistrust and subtle awareness even before arriving in the dungeon. Leah asked Akira to explain more about the summoning. He recalled that the process required sacrifice, deepening their understanding of their situation. Leah acknowledged that those swept up in the summoning were not to blame. Yoru supported her, emphasizing their shared responsibility. Ahead, a figure appeared. Yoru shouted, alerting Akira and Laya to the unexpected presence. Yoru and the group reacted quickly, ready to confront the approaching threat, staying vigilant in the dangerous dungeon. Akira prepared to strike, leading Yoru and Laya as they moved toward the figure, maintaining speed and precision to avoid danger. Akira clashed with the figure in a fierce duel. Their strikes collided, sparks flying as tension peaked. The opponent remarked on Akira's speed, surprised at how quickly he had arrived and caught up. Leah watched from Yoru's back, realizing the danger was immediate. Akira pressed forward, keeping pace with the powerful enemy. The opponent smiled, inviting Akira to attack. Akira readied himself, leading Yoru and Laya as they prepared for a decisive confrontation. Akira confronted a dark figure in the snowy cavern, gripping his weapon tightly. The black cat followed closely, tense and ready. Yoru assessed the situation carefully. He recognized the figure as Ollum, confirming the presence of a dangerous opponent. Akira and Yoru circled each other, calculating their first move. Both acknowledged the other's skill, knowing the fight would be intense. Akira noted the enemy's stamina, considering strategy and timing. The tension in the air hinted at an imminent clash. Owen warned of overreaching ambition. He scrutinized Akira's choices, aware that missteps could lead to devastating consequences. Akira charged forward, determined to take Emilia back. Owen met him with a swift counter, their weapons clashing loudly. Owen mocked Akira's audacity, surprised that a human dared challenge a powerful demon. Emilia watched from the sidelines, tense. The battle intensified as both fighters struck rapidly, testing each other's strength and reflexes. Sparks flew with every clash of their blades. Owen acknowledged Akira's skill, noting that his one strike had been powerful. The fight had grown more dangerous and unpredictable. Akira demonstrated his terrifying power, despite his small frame, relying solely on combat skill, without using special abilities or magic. Akira and Owen clashed fiercely, their blades spinning in a deadly dance. Akira felt an unexpected thrill from the intense battle. Shards of ice and debris scattered as their strikes collided, creating a storm of destruction around them. The black cat watched cautiously. Emilia raised her staff and cast a divine barrier, shielding herself and the surrounding area from the chaotic attacks. Allies arrived in the battlefield, calling out to Akira, Yoru, and Emilia, reinforcing their positions and preparing to assist. Yoru acknowledged Emilia's protective magic, grateful for the support. The barriers created a defensive advantage, allowing the trio to regroup safely. Owen taunted Akira, frustrated by the persistent protection Emilia provided. His attacks targeted the shield, testing its limits. Akira moved swiftly, dodging each strike. His focus never wavered as he anticipated. Owen's aggressive swings. Owen launched a series of relentless attacks, aiming to break through defenses. Akira countered with precise movements, staying on guard. Both Emilia and Akira were knocked back from the force of Owen's assault. Dust and ice filled the cavern. Akira regained composure and shouted to Emilia, reassuring her he would reach her. Yoru and allies watched the fight, preparing to intervene. Owen unleashed a series of precise attacks. Akira dodged swiftly, warning Emilia not to get distracted. Emilia observed Akira, surprised he remained calm and smiling despite the overwhelming power of Owen's strikes. Akira moved fluidly, enjoying the duel. Every strike tested his skill as he matched Owen's speed and precision. Owen noted Akira's injuries, warning that he wouldn't be able to rescue Emilia if he fell behind. Akira remained focused and confident, saying this was exactly what he had been waiting for, an all-out fight against a worthy opponent. Akira summoned his shadow magic, preparing a powerful counter against Owen. Emilia watched, tense and alert. Owen reacted quickly, bracing for the incoming attack. The cavern shook as magic and skill collided. Akira launched himself toward Owen with precise force, striking with a devastating shadow-enhanced punch. The blow transformed into a shadow beast, tearing through the battlefield, and striking Owen with immense power. Owen staggered, bleeding and struggling to regain balance, while Akira pressed forward, determined to protect Emilia and continue the fight. Owen eyed Akira's blood and mana, noting their potency. He raised his hand, intrigued by the human's resilience. Akira's expression shifted, a mix of pain and determination. He braced for the next move, refusing to falter. Owen laughed wildly, feeding off the chaos of battle. The cavern echoed with his manic energy. Emilia and the black cat witnessed Akira's struggle, his bloodied form showing the intensity of the fight. Despite the injuries, Akira inspired awe. Owen admitted he had never seen a human like him, amazed by his strength. Emilia shouted for Akira to run as Owen advanced. Akira prepared to respond, determined to protect her. Owen smiled menacingly, signaling it was too late for any escape. The tension in the battlefield escalated. Akira launched an attack, striking through the enemy ranks. Debris and bodies scattered across the snow-covered battlefield. The clash erupted into a massive conflict, with monsters and combatants falling under Akira's forceful attacks. Emilia and Akira struggled against the chaos. Allies and the black cat shouted warnings, urging each other to survive the relentless fight. Emilia swung her staff, shouting for enemies to stay away. The battlefield was chaotic, monsters closing in. The black cat was thrown back by the force of the attacks. Emilia struggled to regain her balance. Emilia realized she could not die here. She needed to protect Akira and relay crucial information to him. Emilia raised her staff, creating a divine reflection barrier, deflecting the oncoming assault of monsters. The barrier exploded outward, repelling the enemies. Amelia's magic created a brief moment of safety amidst the relentless battle. Akira stared in shock as he saw the results of Amelia's barrier. Monsters' attacks were completely neutralized, reflecting back on them. Amelia's spell deflected all claws and fangs, protecting herself, Akira and the battlefield from further harm. The surrounding monsters lay defeated, unable to overcome the power of the reflected attacks. Akira and Amelia took in the scene cautiously. Ollum approached calmly, acknowledging the shift in battle. The tables had turned, and the threat was now mitigated. Amelia, exhausted but determined, prepared to explain the skill's mechanics. She held her ground, ready to instruct Akira for the next phase. Amelia explained the flute's hidden ability, revealing it could summon monsters and also create protective magic. She activated a massive magic circle above them, preparing to rescue Akira and the others from danger. The black cat and Akira stared in shock, realizing the significance of the magic circle. Akira smashed through monsters with renewed focus, moving quickly toward the barrier Amelia had prepared. Amelia's protective barriers activated in time. She shouted relief, noting that Mahiro's timing had been perfect for the defense. Abe Mahiro appeared suddenly, introducing himself formally to Akira. His calm demeanor contrasted the chaotic battlefield. Akira and the black cat were shocked, noticing Mahiro's Japanese pronunciation and realizing his identity might be familiar. Mahiro explained his name but hinted it wasn't important for them to remember. His presence shifted the battle's dynamics. The black cat indicated urgency. Mahiro revealed he intended to take the princess, emphasizing the time-sensitive danger. Akira and his companions readied themselves, bracing against Mahiro's calculated advance. Understanding the next phase of their conflict had begun, Abe Mahiro's gaze hardened as he prepared a decisive action. His presence dominating the battlefield, he activated Body Puppet, controlling the environment and manipulating his enemy's movements with precision. Amelia was lifted and restrained by the spell, screaming in shock as Akira and the black cat rushed to defend her. Akira shouted angrily, warning himself not to fall for Mahiro's taunt while preparing a counterattack. Akira recognized Mahiro's strength, noting he was far stronger than Ollum, marking him as a formidable new threat. Mahiro observed the black cat's stance, realizing it had completely defected from the demon lord's side. The black cat, now named Yoru, declared loyalty to Akira and his companions, abandoning past allegiances. Mahiro acknowledged Yoru's choice, smiling subtly, and prepared to unleash his next powerful action. A massive magic circle formed, gathering immense energy, indicating Mahiro was about to execute a large-scale spell. Mahiro's attention shifted as he sensed something, pausing briefly and evaluating the situation before acting further on the battlefield. Akira froze in shock, recognizing a familiar figure approaching through the battlefield. His eyes widened as he struggled to comprehend the sight. Commander Saran appeared, moving confidently across the snow-covered ground. Akira called out, his voice filled with surprise and a mix of hope and disbelief.